It's Jessie May. It's Park. We knit and we knat and we chit and we chat and we knit and we knat and we chit and we chat and we knit and we knat and we chit and we chat and we knit and we knat and we chit and we chat and we knit and we knat and we chit and we chat.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 5, or as Jessie May earlier today said, what episode are we on? 8? No.
Episode 5.8.
Episode 5.
0.8. It's Jessie May.
It's Park.
We knit.
We knat.
We chit.
We chat.
Welcome to our little show.
Knit, Knat, Chit Chat.
Okay, I need to say something, which is that it never gets easier to listen to myself sing badly.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And the fact that we immediately have to listen to it. Ugh.
Unfortunately, we decided to start this off with a theme song where we sing. So here we are, sitting, getting ready to do our web show.
Nervous. Holding hands.
Nervous like this.
This is us before we start. We're silent because we're so nervous.
We're nervous that accidentally the mic is on or something and it's like things are going to go wild. But then in our nerves, we have to listen to ourselves sing the song. At least we don't have to do it live.
It always makes me die. It always makes me
It's
die.
Jessie May.
Oh, no.
It's Park. We knit and...
I wish I
Okay.
had that to redo, but in all fairness, we did that in one session with basically like 2 takes of us singing.
Yeah, and you know what?
And thank you to Dan Poppin for making it sound like
And
remotely.
you know what? It could be a lot worse.
It could, and I also know that this is self-consciousness. I am not claiming that we sing well.
No.
I'm speaking for myself. I know I'm not singing well, but I know it's like probably less embarrassing to you all. Although I shouldn't say that because my number one nightmare is having somebody sing to me without consent. So,
well, you know what? There's always a mute button. You can mute us.
so true, babe.
Let's introduce ourselves.
I'm Jessie
Again.
May Designs of Jessie May Martinson, the person.
Nice. Yes. I am Park and Knit of the person Park Williams.
Emily Park Williams.
Emily Park Williams. My first name. Maybe that's a fun thing to add.
Fact that maybe
Fun
none of you
fact.
knew. We have a question before we start anything.
Oh, yeah.
A new feature that we're noticing is something called Top Fans.
Yeah, top fans. And people in the chat have a crown next to them, and they're ranked.
Queen Amy Hass.
Yeah.
Who art thou?
Josephine Marie.
Who
you are number
whomst
2.
art thou'st?
Can anyone that is good at the YouTube tell us what that is?
We love our number 1 and number 2 fans. We love all of our fans.
We love all of
but
our fans.
If you're not the number 1 or number 2 fan, now is your chance to prove yourself.
True. So we will await your explanations in the chat if any of you are very good at the YouTube. Okay, Josephine Marie has no idea what it means, but also you are number 2.
First in. It's first in fan form. We love it.
Wow.
Love to see it.
I think we're getting mad faces from Dan Poppin in the chat, probably from disparaging our singing, because Dan does not like when we do that.
At the same time,
Yeah.
as bad as my singing is as good as Dan Poppin is at making it sound kind of okay.
Yeah.
Without Dan Poppin, where would we be? Not Poppin, that's for sure.
Not Poppin, and you wouldn't have any cute songs.
We would be.
Okay, yes. It says the more you message, the more you rank higher. Wow, guys,
something to think about.
Did we accidentally introduce a video game into
our
Knat Chit Chat?
show?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll see by the end of the night who the number 1 fan is.
True.
Anyway,
Happy Cancer season,
happy
everybody.
Cancer season, everyone. Let's talk about a few famous cancers.
Wait, let's first talk about my initial show notes for the show, which was
Jessie did something so evil.
I did something so funny and evil,
Which was
like, throughout the month I will add things to the show notes so that we
aren't doing it all at once at the end. And I like to remind myself of stuff we should talk about. And I just created the template for this show last month, and I immediately put introduction, happy Leo season, discuss famous Leos.
And I screenshotted it and I sent it to her and I said, question mark. And she said, what? We love Leos. And I said, Jessie, it's Cancer season, okay? And the one sign that will get their feelings hurt the most if we say happy Leo season during Cancer season is a Cancer. So we are saying happy Cancer season, and let's shout out.
Astrological slip. I've had many of those recently, but this is water sign on water sign violence.
Yeah.
And as a Pisces, I'm not sorry.
As a Pisces moon.
Exactly. I'm a Pisces moon, but I have a stellium in Pisces.
Yeah,
so.
you do. That's true. So some famous Cancers. Number 1, my mother, Debbie Park.
Debbie Park.
Notice how we got the park. My mom, my grandpa, my niece Larkin. We have a very famous Cancer in the chat who we've already discussed many a time.
Where?
Dan Poppin. Maya Corral
appeared. That's
she
what I
was
thought
next
you were
on the
talking about.
list. I didn't see that she was already in the chat, so I was going to say Dan, but Maya is also on our famous Cancer season list. And Kate's Tangled String.
Famous in knitting.
Famous in knitting. Okay.
And all things hand done.
Yeah. Mending.
Everybody say
cooking.
your favorite Cancer.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of Cancers I know aside from our mutual friends, and
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
don't have a lot. I have so many.
Somebody I dated's dad.
Wow.
One of my old boyfriends.
Yeah, they don't need to have their
They
shout-outs.
don't need to have their shout outs.
Do we have more Cancers in the chat? Yes, I'm seeing some. IB Serenity. Hello, happy almost birthday.
Hello, angry artist.
Maybe that's
We'll
a
talk
different
about that
username,
later.
but we'll see.
Maybe not.
Okay, Kay in the chat is also a Cancer.
May I have a tissue?
Yes.
I'm a little sniffly. ATM. Just a little dab.
So thank you all for being here. We love seeing you all doing your messaging, especially 2 people with July 13 in the chat. Especially how now everyone is fighting for top fans.
Top fandom.
The chat is really going wild. We will do
At
our
the
best.
end of the show, we will announce the top 3 fans, and everybody, all the top 3 fans get a free pattern. No offense.
Ooh!
From me. I
From
can't
me
make
too.
that promise
Yeah,
for Park.
of course. Yeah, no, only from Jessie. No,
I don't want to be generous with Park's money.
Well, you can be. All right. So, shall we get into it? We've got a great show for you all tonight. What is that from? We've got a great show for you tonight.
At like every show.
Maybe every show. Okay. We've got a great show for you tonight. Let's
You be the judge of that. Let's invoke, shall we?
invoke. Orders of business.
That was crab language.
Do it like this, sideways. Our orders of business. We kind of deemed this episode as the travel edition because there is kind of a theme going through it of travel we have coming up, what we are packing for that travel, and what we like to...
Yeah, what we like to bring
Yeah.
when we travel.
So,
I feel like summer is the time that maybe a lot of people get, not everybody, but it's a time when the weather is nice. So I feel like people
Yeah.
are out,
Moving
for
about
holidays,
more.
moving around, going places, traveling with their knitting. So
yes. So in the Knat section, in addition to what we're working on and what we've been up to, we are going to be discussing an upcoming event, a cool knitting zine, and packing for upcoming travel, Coco Knits edition.
yay. SpawnCon.
SpawnCon.
Park's favorite word.
SpawnCon.
Vocab word of the year for Park.
Yes, true.
And in our Chit Chat section, we will be talking about what we're reading, what we're watching, what we're playing, as always. the Jessie Super Special Sunglass Showcase.
Yes.
The JSS.
Yes. I can't wait for that.
Our summer beauty / travel beauty favorites or easy beauty favorites for summer, and then a new arc that we've embarked upon.
A life-changing arc.
A life-changing arc.
Mm-hmm. Okay, first let's talk about our tops that we're wearing and our lipsticks, because we are getting some cute chats about that, which is that we are coordinating.
We are always coordinating. We're always trying, at least. I tried to make my lipstick more orange to match you.
Yes, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I am wearing my bow tie tank, which is reversible.
So good. It's so good.
I love this top because it is super easy and fun, and I actually do wear it all the time because it's very loose. I know that some people don't love that vibe, but I love to be free flowing in the summer, so it's so nice for the hot weather. And my lipstick is this one, L'Oreal At the Drop of a Matte. It's a very kind of like bright
Lavender,
purple.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
My top is a tie top from Nettle Studios. I got it
cute.
many years ago, probably. Well, at this point, I don't know, 2021 or 2022. I love it. I love a tie top. It's one of my, I have a little bit of a uniform type wardrobe. I have certain types of garments that I like to wear that work for me. And a tie top is a genre that I own many pieces in because it kind of keeps everything together. And I like having like a nice open
it's
neckline.
beautiful.
And a little bow. So I love a little tie top. And my lipstick is NARS Niagara with MAC Socho on top of it because I first had Niagara on. Yes. Mm-hmm. For our little selfie that we took before the show, I only had Niagara, and I was like, I want it to be a little more orange. But now that I'm looking at it on camera, it gets so much darker.
I know. I can't trust these camera colors sometimes.
Yeah, so it probably looks like more pinky red or like dark to you, but it actually is quite bright. Like your lips are also bright.
Yeah, these are dark. It's darker on the camera.
But I was trying to do a little crisscross.
It's not Gemini season anymore, but we still like to do our twinning. It's
always Gemini season for us.
It's true.
When there are two Gemini, when you have two people with Gemini placements in the room, it's Gemini season.
And not to make this whole episode about astrology, but the Astros in the chat can correct me on this, but I have been hearing that it is a huge moment for Gemini placements because Uranus is moving from Taurus into Gemini. Actually, I think it's happening today, or it did happen today. And apparently it's huge. We're going to have a huge transformation. We're going to be totally new people. We're going to... What did it say?
Babe, that's kind of scary.
It didn't say new people, but it was kind of like you're going to maybe go through some growth to feel more free and more yourself or something like that.
Okay. Well, I thought I felt more...
Yes. My personal astrologer has entered the chat. Everyone pay special attention to Maya Corral's messages. Uranus and Gemini, yes, today. Okay.
I thought I was feeling more urine in the air.
Ew.
So.
Sick. Psst. But it only happens every 7 years. Did I say that? So the next 7 years is significant for all Gemini placements.
Oh, that
you and me.
That feels like very stressful to me.
Yes. I like it.
I've
actually already been feeling it. I have.
Okay, I'm in a mood today, so...
Anyone who is new to the chat, Jessie is a Gemini rising, and I am a Gemini sun and stellium. Gemini stellium. Sun, Mercury, and Venus.
It explains a lot.
Yeah.
No, you haven't been saying Uranus wrong. Uranus can be pronounced Uranus or Uranus. It's both are acceptable from what I understand. I have looked this up before.
Nice.
As a former Uranus sayer, I prefer urine to anus.
I definitely grew up saying Uranus.
Yeah, but I think Uranus makes more sense, and honestly, Uranus rolls off the tongue better than urine.
Uranus.
for me. But I don't know.
Okay, let's get into it, shall we? We've got a great show for you tonight. Got a great show for you
Hopefully.
tonight. Knit-Nat.
We'll let you be the judge of that. I may have
Knit-Nat
already
portion
said that.
section is now commencing.
Commence. Let us commence the knit-nat section.
Mm-hmm.
What's everyone knitting?
Yeah, what's everyone knitting?
Before we talk about what we're knitting, we're holding you hostage, and 4 people have to say what they're knitting before we continue.
Yeah. People might have already said it.
Oh.
Let's see at the beginning. Someone said...
Working on a test knit for James and Watts.
Ooh,
Somebody
nice.
was working on a test knit for me. Love
Nice.
you, tester.
Working on a cardigan with cashmere yarn. Nice.
Ooh,
Sounds
that
delicious.
Sounds sexy and delicious and cozy.
Okay.
Anthology throw. A totally tank top for the undie Mel.
Nice.
Finishing the back of a sweater, a colorwork sweater. That's podcast fan art. What podcast?
Someone finishing a test for me. Wow. We've got the whole trio here.
Venice wrap with sparkly yarn. Ooh, a Northwoods V-neck.
Cute.
Totally tank top, a linen silk top, a sock, a fall frolic.
Good job,
Okay,
everyone.
love it. Rolled edge. Okay, rolled edge.
Summer
tank,
shirt.
a lacy vesty blouse.
Wow,
a
you guys
cable-
are-
you are busy.
Busy. Ah.
Who knew there were so many knitters in the audience?
How did you guys find our page? That is
Wait,
funny.
I think that's a typo. It says finishing a Sunday swirl, but it says sundew. And is that going to be my
next one?
pattern name? Sundew swirl is
idea.
so cute.
That is cute. Swatching for a ripple crop top tonight. Cute.
Oh, fun.
Cute.
Thank you all for your support. You're not required to knit art. The only rule is that you can't knit any patterns by our enemies. Well, you watch our show.
We don't have
You just
any
have to
enemies.
guess who those people are because speak for yourself.
I will. Okay. Jessie, what have you been up to?
And what's on my needles? Okay, I'll first talk about the test that probably the person in the chat who said they were working on my
Oh,
test.
yes.
This is the finished sample. I think I showed it last month.
Oh,
But
yes.
I actually finished it. Naiad pullover is done.
Oh, look at
I'm
it through
so
the window.
happy with
It's
it.
backlit in such a beautiful way.
It looks very pretty on me. I did these. I love the little lateral braid before the split hem and on the sleeve cuffs. This silhouette of sweater, a kind of a wider, looser neck in
it's
an
gorgeous.
airy lace fabric with a full sleeve. That is what I like to wear. I don't really like a tight tapered sleeve that's choking my wrist. And so I frequently will design things that have big sleeves, and I know some people hate that, but
I love big sleeves,
my
and
personal
I really
taste,
want to knit
I
that.
just love it. I think you would like it.
I know I would love it. I just need to have the time.
Same, babe.
Yeah.
I don't have time for anything. You finished something.
Yes, I showed you guys this last time, almost done, but it was now fully done. This is my, what did I name it? Salty water tank. And so, like we said last time, very slinky little top.
Slinky sexy. I love how it feels.
I love how it looks because it is a little bit see-through, but not too see-through, and
So sexy.
I love, for tank tops, as you can tell, I love a big wide front neck. So this is kind of like almost a cowl neck.
Yeah, I love it. Somebody said
Jessie's is the Naiad pullover.
Naiad, N-A-I-A-D.
Let me type it.
Like a little sea spirit
N-A-I-D.
fairy.
No.
N-A-I-A-D.
Yeah.
No, N-A-I-A-D. Yeah. Naiad pullover. It's coming at the end of August. And then I also want to mention this comment saying somebody knitted with ritual dyes undine for the first time and they're in love.
Oh, yes.
It's the best. It's
so
the
good.
best.
So that's what this is.
It's so
out
hard
of.
for me to knit anything in any other fiber because it's kind of not specifically undine, I guess, but I don't like really to wear wool. It makes me itchy.
Yeah.
So I love I love
You love an undine.
Undine.
So do I, but
Yeah. Okay. Next up is what is on our needles.
what is on our
at
needles?
the moment? So, I am working on a tank top, and I really kind of back myself in a corner with this one because either I have to release it in late September, which I think is fine. I mean, so many of my patterns are summer patterns, and not everybody lives in the Northern Hemisphere, and it's warm still in some places, but it's like, by the time you finish knitting this, it's going to be much past September, so I don't know. But it is a little, like, tank top with, like, kind of a lacy, I don't know if you can see, like, lacy neckline and
Yeah,
arm
the neckline is
finishes.
really pretty.
Yeah, and it's like, and then for the bottom, I'm going to do like a tiered ruffle. Now, I don't know what's going to happen because the ruffle that I initially did, I don't know if I like it, and I might rip back, which is painful because ruffles take so long.
Don't rip back.
I might rip back. Well, or I could do, I'm
Just
just not sure what I'm going to do.
add a little.
But I think I want to do tiers. I did the wrong kind of ruffle. So we'll see. But this is what it looks like. And I don't know when I'll release it. Maybe if I don't know.
What's it out of?
This is Undine.
Oh, really?
Undine in the color slate. It's like a really pretty, almost like,
Yeah, it's like a
it's
greeny,
a
greeny gray.
greenish gray. It almost looks like, it kind of looks like a color that water is when it looks like the true color of water in certain ways. Like when you're looking at it, like the sort of reflective, top of water, how it's kind of dark. But yeah, so that's what we have here.
Pretty.
I don't know. I'm kind of going between whether I should release it and test it now and release it in the spring, or just test it in the spring, because I don't know.
It's the tricky part of timing things out.
Because I also think that I'm hoping within the next couple weeks to write a DK worsted version of mini mock neck that I can release in the fall. So
Cute.
I don't know.
Cute.
I need to get hopping on some other things because I had also swatched. Hold on, is it in here? Let me go into my little sack. I'd also swatched this. I don't remember if I shared this on the last. This is Wandering
Yes,
Clock
I think
Cotton
you did share
Lino.
this.
And I want to write a long sleeve lace t-shirt for this, but I think I need to do it for spring. I just don't think it's gorgeous, and I want to take my time, and I want people to have enough time to test knit it. So that might not happen until the spring. I don't know. I'm feeling very overwhelmed and chaotic in the way of my pattern release schedule. I feel like I'm working and all the time, but that nothing is lining up.
It just takes so long to release a pattern from when you pass it on to getting it all done. So you have to plan ahead.
Ugh, this is so pretty.
Okay,
Oh,
this
gorgeous.
is what I'm working on, which is, what is it called? Noro,
Is it correct?
oh, Madara.
Okay.
And it's so pretty. It's
That's
gray
gorgeous.
with little primary color flecks in it.
Yeah, it's like tweedy.
Yeah, very tweedy, and I just love that the tweed is colorful. So this is a big turtlenecky and big 7-stitch raglan, so kind of blocky. You can't really see it that well. Maybe you can.
A thick raglan seam.
I had already used this, knit almost a full sweater last year with this. That's why this is in a ball, because I wasn't happy with it and I ripped it out. And then I've been really trying to use up my stash. And so I was like, okay, I love this Noro yarn. So I decided to go a different route. And what I'm thinking for it, I still have to decide. I kind of think I'm ready to start the bottom ribbing, so it will be pretty cropped. And I want to do a really thick rib.
Yeah.
And then no shaping on the sleeves, or very minimal, and a big old thick rib. So it'll be very oversized,
I love that.
croppy.
I
and
love one
gushy
of my
rib.
favorite silhouettes.
True.
Cropped and
Cropped
thick,
and big sleeves.
big sleeves and a big chunky amount of ribbing. Something that I love.
Yes.
I sometimes I really hate 1 inch of ribbing.
I know.
It's kind of perverted and weak looking to me. I need more ribbing, if you know what I mean.
So that's all my needles. I also didn't bring it, but I did just cast on a sock.
You're only your 4th sock ever.
I think now at this point it's maybe my 6th. But it's going to be crumpet socks.
So sexy.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Can't wait for the photo shoot for that.
True that.
Are we going to do it in Lindy's field? Oh,
I'm going to try to knit as fast as I can so that I can do the photo shoot exactly how I did the crumpet camisole photo shoot, which was at Lindy's cabin and with all of her tea party accessories and my little sister doll. Yeah.
That's exciting. Speaking of socks, I finished the pair of socks that I was working on last month. Oh no, I didn't write the yarn down. It was like I'll include it.
We'll put it in the show notes.
But I got this fiber at Northwind Fiber in Spooner, and I knit these for my partner. I think that they're so pretty. It's kind of like earth tones.
So vintage, cute
and so vintage looking, and I love it. They look like what I imagine like knitting in the 80s or 90s. A pair of like socks would look like. I love them. Yeah, they're so cute.
And look at this.
Yeah, look at the little heel.
Striping
look at the
like
Flegel-Hegel in the back.
I've got to knit a Flegel-Hegel.
I know.
You're always talking about Flegel-Hegel.
I love a Flegel-Heel. A lot of people hate it, and I don't know why I love
done
it. I feel like it's very elegant. I will say it's not my favorite fit, personally. I love a heel-flapping gusset. I think it fits better, but you are not particular about that, nor is James. So, and James loves the Flegel-Heel socks that I made him.
Flegel-Hegel, please.
Flegel-Hegel. What did you finish, babe?
Ooh. Oh, what did I finish?
This is incredible. I didn't see it until today.
First things first. This is what I finished.
The cutest little purse. Oh my god. It feels like rope. It's like so thick.
I know, it's very thick. A little bit of hurt your hands.
I was gonna say,
but it doesn't take very long to do, obviously, because it's bulky. And it does sit on its own like this.
Very elegant.
Behave.
And wait until we show you what's inside.
Yeah, I think that someone in the chat is already seeing the spoiler of what's to come.
I told you it was them. Okay.
So this is a Stash Buster purse. I have a couple other ideas for other Stash Buster purses, but I'm going to have to just get to them, I think, after my July travel. But so this will probably, I don't know when I will be releasing it, but it'll be sometime soon-ish. And I just can't wait because it's like,
it's so cute.
Something also
I gasped
about
when she took it out.
Having a knit purse like this, or just like any that is like super colorful, is that you can literally wear it with any of your outfits.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
So that's what I cast off. And then, oh my god, you probably have seen this. Oh, this is my ugly clown.
Wow, it actually really matches like what we're wearing. My whole outfit is pink pants, purple top.
This is what Jessie said when she saw it just now sitting in the pile. She says, "Oh, actually uglier in person." And that is mainly because of this furry yarn that I picked.
I said, what is that?
Okay, so you know what? To be fair, people, this sweater is getting very mixed reviews. Some people are absolutely loving it. And it has definitely grown on me as well. It is ugly in a, you could wear it in a cute type of way, in an ironic type of way, in a very much like, I love color and looking like a kindergartner type of way, which is one of my vibes. But let me just show you, if you missed it, let me show you what it looked like before blocking, because I felt like I was getting gaslit a little bit by everyone being like, it's so cute, and I was like...
You were getting gaslit, but to be fair, a lot of people like ugly things. So.
True. But here is the problem. I cast this off. First of all, I knit it, and every stripe that I added, I said to myself, ooh, this is ugly. This is ugly. but let me trust the process, and maybe when it's all done together, it will be nice and cute. And then, what do you know? When I cast it off, it looked like the exact same sweater that I was knitting. Oh, by the way, I was knitting this for like a year on and off, like picking it up, setting it down. So I had been looking at it for a year.
She knit an ugly sweater for an entire year.
For an entire year, I had to look at this thing. And then I cast it off and I was like, okay, it's going to be cute when I put it on for the first time and try it. And this is what it looked like.
So ugly.
Do you see maybe why I was having remorse?
Yes, I 100% see, and I hope that it makes you feel seen, because I wasn't shocked by, of course people are going to say that's not ugly, like when you post something that you think is ugly, or not believe you that you think it is ugly, but what you really need is a friend who's going to say, I affirm
you.
Your instinct, this is ugly.
And am I going to wear it all the time? Absolutely, yes I am.
Of course you are.
That is one of my traits, is that when the sweater does not feel precious to me and when it is a little ugly, I am going to wear it all the time. I don't know why that is, but I love it.
Lindy says ugly are people too. I need to tell you the worst thing about this sweater, which is that, I don't know if you can see it, but up close, the texture of this is actually like clown pubic hair. It is so disgusting.
Kaden called it Muppet, like dead Muppet.
Dead Muppet, or AKA clown pubes.
Yeah, and I have to admit that when I was knitting it, when I was like adding that type of thing, it was because I was to a point where I was like...
Didn't someone say, it's okay, it's your first sweater?
Yes.
Y'all, TikTok is a wild place. The number of people who are in Park's comments, who don't know who she is, of course, being like, have you tried blocking it?
Yeah, I started posting on TikTok, and it's not for the faint of heart, the comments over there, because truly I had to share that one comment that said, it's okay, it's your first one. And I was like, it's not my first one, you guys.
TikTok is also an evil place because people can say send evil comments.
Yeah.
Somebody said something so evil that made me so mad.
I don't remember it.
They said, I'm pretty sure you don't think that sweater is ugly. You posted about it 10 times. Like,
I said, excuse me, the least this sweater can do for me is let me have some fun content, some fun jokes, and make some fun videos.
People are so rude.
Yeah.
Wait, James says, remember how close we were to hosting an ugly Cal?
Yes.
We really wanted to do an ugly sweater Cal, like maybe during COVID, a long time ago, and maybe it is time.
I think what I'm going to do, actually, I was thinking about this, is I am going to exposure therapy and do an even uglier sweater.
Can you make a pretty sweater?
No, I've already done that many times. I think I'm going to just do one sweater that's even more hideous than this. And I have it.
You know what would be cute? If these white stripes were like black or darker.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many things.
It would be so cool.
I was thinking that this silhouette and the stripes are even really fun. And if I just did it in like 2 colors, I think it would be really cute. If the stripes were uniform.
Well, you know what else?
If it was like black and white or something.
I think would be cute.
Maybe not black and white.
Is if the stripes were if the white stripes were even more irregular. Like, you know, like a little bit less white. I mean, I love the one solid color throughout concept. Oh my god, is it like
the pink
bleeding?
was bleeding.
Ew. A bleeding clown pube ski kindergarten teacher skier sweater.
But you know what? It's given me a lot of laughs. Hopefully it's given you a lot of laughs. And it was a good challenge for me because like I said on Instagram, when I teach my stash busting workshop at yarn shops, I'm always telling people, like, don't worry if it's ugly. Like, it's just our critics in our brain telling us that, like, you just have to get back in touch with your creativity again, and it's about play. And then I make this, and I'm like, this is hideous. And I did say every single stripe, I was like, this is hideous.
And I'm here to affirm that it is hideous, not gaslight.
But anyway, guys, the pattern will be out this fall. I still will write it up. And why did a lot of people comment that say that they want to knit it? You're right. People like
Because
what they
people, I
like.
think that people are imagining the good version they would do.
Yeah,
not
maybe
your ugly
that would
version.
be awesome. I would love people to reclaim this and make it cute. So anyway,
I like what Ava said, which is that the same thing you said, which is that you're going to get a ton of use out of it. You know, you're not
Yeah.
going to be precious with it because you don't. It's
Yeah.
like ugly, so you're going to wear it all the time, like around the house and such.
Yep.
So,
it's true. Okay,
Very
let's put
squishy.
this away. Let's put that to bed.
thank you.
I think we now. Oh, shall we do Miss Pearl?
No,
where are we at now? Oh, yeah, you still have
I still
more.
have more stuff to talk about. Let me get through my
You've been busy.
orders of business. I mean, kind of, I guess, but yeah, I have. I started my Misty alpaca. I got this Misty alpaca.
Cute.
Oh no,
What?
we lost some stitches. We lost some stitches.
Surgery.
Surgery.
Everyone quiet.
Everybody be quiet while I get these through. Okay. So we're doing 2 at a time on Magic Loop. My favorite thing. And they're so soft. Feel them. They're so soft.
Oh my goodness.
Use your long arms.
If you guys
Thank
could feel this, just picture alpaca.
It's this is the yarn that I got at Diva Yarns in Port Townsend, Washington. This color, this is the Misty Alpaca hand paint sock. It is not superwash. It is 50 alpaca, 30 merino, 10 silk, 10 nylon, and the colorway is Goudy's Park. And it is so cute, and it's so soft, and I love
So cute.
knitting on it. So
You're gonna love wearing them too.
they're for Sage.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice of you.
And then next up,
Oh yeah, Sorry, I won't spoil.
when James and I went to the Des Moines Fiber Festival or Fiber Show or Fiber Fest, whatever, we picked up, I think I talked about this, that those skeins of Hanui, which is a New Zealand, a specific breed that they bred for, you know, as they do, for
Yes.
for the yarn to have specific qualities. Allegedly, it's very durable, and it certainly is lustrous.
It is.
Because the guy who was there selling the fiber, I forget what the brand was called, but they had samples hanging, and both James and I were like,
Yeah.
and James bought some to spin, and then he said that if I wanted to buy some, he would spin it for me, which is
So nice.
such a labor of love. I feel like it probably took so long to do this, but James spun me exactly 400 yards of this Hanui, and
I can't wait to touch
my
it.
favorite thing about this yarn when we were looking at it was the natural colors, like the natural undyed colors and the variation in them, were so beautiful.
That is stunning.
And this is like kind of a silvery, it's just like the camera definitely isn't capturing it. It is like a muted silvery,
Let me touch it.
yeah, like it's almost somewhere between cream and gray, but it's neither. And it's so soft.
It's so soft.
And I'm like,
And lofty.
and lofty, yeah. I'm like,
What
should
are
I
you gonna-
design something with that?
What are you gonna
I
do
can't,
with
how do I
that?
say, like, sorry, you
Oh.
have to use hand spun Hanui to knit this sock. But feel this. It's so, like, have you ever felt anything like
No,
this?
because I felt it before it was spun, and I
Yeah.
gasped.
It's so, I don't know how to describe it. It almost feels like it has silk in it. It's so, like,
Yeah, I can't describe it either. Just
Like,
that, like, it's so light feeling
it's
and
light
so soft.
and airy and soft. And thank you, James, for this. It's
Gorgeous.
and I can't wait to knit socks out of it. Maybe just like cozy socks for myself even. I do want to do like, I have in my mind an idea for a really romantic sock pattern that I maybe hopefully will do at some point this fall. But yeah. So that's that. And I think that's all of our in progress
yeah, our
stuff, or our knits, all of our current knits. I know that both of us recently did some yarn shop visiting.
Yes, we did.
Should we talk about that?
Yes. So I went to James's knit night at Miss Pearl, which is on the south side of Chicago in the neighborhood Beverly, and it was so fun. And I did insert a video, and I want to show you guys because the vibes are so fun, and then you kind of get a feel for the shop and the knit night. It was so cute.
No, it was just one day.
That was good. That was having me feel like we were in our new lifestyle that we'll talk about later.
Yes, it was amazing. Kamaka was so sweet. I have here a photo too.
She seems so cool. I can't believe I haven't gone there yet.
Kamaka is on the, I don't know if it's the left or the right for you guys, but not wearing the Look at My Holes. And then that is Stephanie, also a very famous Chicago knitter. And obviously James. And James is wearing his partition pullover, and Stephanie and I are wearing Look at My Holes. And let me transition back to us. It was so cute because, as you guys saw in the video, like a big cactus in the window, plants were everywhere, and then you open the door and there's just that vibe going. I don't know how it is on just a regular shop day, but I can imagine that it would still be fun, cute vibes.
Yeah.
And so definitely add it to your Chicago to visit list because it was a lot of fun.
It's on mine. If I was here, I would have gone with you.
Yes, of course. Lots of great snacks at the knit night. Everyone, when we walked in the two mesh designs of James's, the partition pullover and my Look at My Holes, there was an audible like gasp and like, look at those beautiful patterns. And it was like they had a knitting afternoon that it then extended. So I think a lot of new people were introduced to James's designs, and it was just a lot of fun. She has really cute merch in the shop for Miss Pearl. She has lots of great yarn, so definitely check it out. Also, Yarn Crawl is coming up soon. Chicago Yarn Crawl is coming up at the end of the month, I believe.
I will not be here. I'm never here for Yarn Crawl.
Never here. I think I might be able to do the last weekend. We'll see. But yes, that's my yarn shop visit.
My yarn shop visit, this is a quick one. I stopped on a whim at a little yarn shop called Tangled Up in Hue. It's in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I was on my way back from home. My family recently acquired a cabin on my home reservation. And I'm trying to find like art and stuff to put in it. So actually I bought some stuff to do. I'm going to do some like roving wool like hangings for the walls. There's lots of like sharp angles in the cabin. So I'm like trying to make things soft.
Pretty.
And my brother and sister-in-law asked me to help them with like art. So I got some prints. I already had some prints. Should I show what I bought? I wasn't going to do this, but let me show what I bought.
Is it this?
Yeah. So I bought a few things. So the shop is like, on one side it's like an art shop, and they have like lots of ceramics and like I don't know. Often I feel like I walk into that genre of shop, and what they have is like kind of a lot of mass produced.
Yeah.
Like, ceramics or stuff like that. And this actually looked like all of it was like local artists, and which is such a good vibe. I love that. Stuff like specific to Wisconsin. And then the other half of the shop was actually a really great, not only yarn shop, but fiber arts shop. So they had like everything you would need for embroidery, everything you would need for felting, everything you would need for like macrame. And it was all organized in a way where all of the crafts were together. Oh, beading too. It was a really small but well-stocked, like, variety art and craft shop that also had
That's nice.
a lot of like local stuff, which I really loved. So I bought some art for the cabin. Did I put them all? Well, here. I didn't buy this there. I already had this one. This artist's name is Sarah Holst. I actually got this on Madeline Island.
Gorgeous.
When I visited last year with my partner. Madeline Island is like a significant place for Ojibwe people. I won't go into that, but it's like important in our migration story, and I loved this piece of art.
It's gorgeous.
I didn't buy that at Blue Box Arts, but I did get. Oh, this I also didn't buy, but this is art by my cousin. Her name is Kelly Martinson. Art by Jawan. I think is her Instagram, but this is Wild Ricing. I got this at a powwow last year, but anyway.
Wait,
that's
I can't see.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, isn't it pretty?
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Actually, her parents, my aunt and uncle do like traditional wild rice harvesting. So, but here is one of the prints that I got.
Pretty.
It has like birch and sumac, this is so Hayward, Wisconsin. There's like so much sumac and so many birch trees, and it just felt so like appropriate for the cabin, given the surroundings and the environment. I always like feel home when I start to see like all the sumac and all of the birch trees once you start to get past a certain point north.
Jessie is exactly the type of person that you want to outfit a place with artwork.
And my brother was like, I have mid taste. Can you help me with art?
Yeah.
And he has like things that he likes, but I'm like, that's not quite right, for the cabin. Well,
Yeah,
he knew.
It's just, it's not that he wouldn't be able to, but no, not many people are like you.
No, they trust me with aesthetic decisions. And then there are so many loons out on the lake. If you've never heard a loon call, if you haven't been blessed to hear the call of a loon.
Wait, try to do one.
I can't try to do one. It's like, it's so haunting.
Oh.
And like, it's like the most beautiful, haunting. No. No. Mm-mm. I don't know how to, it sounds ancient. It sounds primal. And I don't know how to explain it.
Let me try to pull one up.
Pull one up. It's so beautiful. But anyway, this, I don't know who, Isaac Redinger. I don't even know who that is. I think it's just like a local artist, local to Wisconsin, but I loved this. They had many different bird prints that I considered getting. But anyway, so I bought some beat.
Oh.
And they call back and forth. And it just echoes and echoes and echoes over like the lake. It like makes my heart. I don't know. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
It like stops you in your tracks. And I don't know what it's like.
Did we hear those when we stayed at a cabin?
We might have heard them like
we
once.
might have.
Yeah. First of all, loons are really big birds. It's like you think it would be duck size, but it's not. It's like kind of between a duck and because you see it and you're like, oh, whoa, that's a huge bird, right? But they don't do that. I feel like when they're making their calls, you don't usually like see them.
Yeah.
And they often call right in the morning or like right at night, like classic bird behavior. But you can hear them locating each other from like so far away, and it's just it's very beautiful. They're very regal. And I love them. They have like bright red eyes.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, a little tangent. I wasn't planning on sharing all that, but yeah. So I bought some beads for like some roving art. That's roving wool art. I also bought some wool from Knit Picks. I think like some roving wool. just in like the colors that are already there. I don't know. Outfitting like a new place with art is like, I would rather put some DIY stuff there until we like can collect things that we like rather than fill it with a bunch of cheap like
Just,
stuff.
fast art.
Yeah, fast art right
Fast
away.
fashion, fast art.
So, yeah. Maya wants a bird chat section added to the show
Classic.
and a little bit of crying about birds. Truly though, loons, the sound that they make is
That is very, like, you
incredible.
described it perfectly. Ancient and
it's
haunting.
ancient and haunting. Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah, so Tangled Up in Hue, also Blue Boxer Arts. I want to say it's on Main Street in Eau Claire. It's not in Main Street, but it's kind of in like old downtown of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, which is hometown of Bon Iver. Probably most famous for that.
True.
But it's about like an hour and a half from where I'm from, south of where I'm from. So, yeah, and it's like the biggest city in that part of Wisconsin. It's really more of a town. I also stopped at a sewing shop there and got some cotton, but cute. Is that
It's time.
what I think it is?
Yeah.
I have to say first that we didn't know the artist was going to be in the chat.
No.
I think her name is Jess.
Yes,
She's
it is.
tested for me before.
So,
She's probably tested for you also.
let's first talk about it,
Oh, yeah.
which is... Actually, there's one for you.
Should
And-
this be our thumbnail?
There's one for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, I think we should start with about the artist.
Yes. So,
Jess
Jess.
is an illustrator from the Midwest who creates cute and colorful artwork that embodies softness and comfort. Oh,
In her free time, Jess enjoys playing video games.
Same.
Knitting.
Same.
Clothes. No,
Same.
knitting clothes. Sorry. Same. And watching professional wrestling.
honestly, same.
I've never done that, but
I used to love
hey.
professional wrestling when I was a kid. I haven't watched it so much since. My friend Sam loves professional wrestling.
Nice.
Um,
Jess has tested for both of us many times. Is very
incredible test knitter.
Yes, knits gorgeous things. Is very sweet and knits our designs and does it beautifully.
Yes, Angry Artist 113 is
Yes.
The Instagram handle, and Jessica Kuzinski.
.com.
and strangedeer.com. But,
Okay, so what happened is I just get a text from my friend Jessica who sent me a picture of this, and I was like, what? Actually sent a picture of a page in this. And I was like, what?
you're going to have to buy it to find out.
No, you're not. We're going to show it.
Are we?
Yes, we have to. It's so cute.
Jess,
we'll just
are we
show
allowed to show it?
We will just show 2 pages, yours and mine.
Jess is also tested for James.
Oh, yeah. You're going to find it all out in here. Jessie hasn't seen in this yet. So,
I haven't seen this yet.
yes, we can show
Okay.
it. Okay. So, Jessica, my friend, texted me the page out of
Jessica
this.
Kania.
Yes. And said, oh my God, I need to get you one of these zines, and got one for me, Jessie, and James, because it was at Cake, the Chicago Alternative Comics Expo. And Jessica said she was just like looking around, and there on the table was this zine that said Knit Big. So of course Jessica picked it up to look at it. And it says Knit Big, Knitting for Fats, Femmes, and Friends, Volume 1 by Jess Kaczynski.
She'll be selling these at Chicago Zine Fest.
Oh, July 19.
Oh, she and he pronouns. July 19th.
Okay, so it's... Wait until you see these pages. This is the cutest. I know.
Oh my God!
Jessie had not seen inside yet, and so I was so excited that she was going to get to see her page.
Why am I tearing up? This is so sweet.
It's so sweet.
Oh my God. This is like actually making me cry.
So what Jess did is like wrote out how many patterns we have. Like Jessie has 4 hats, 19 sweaters, 13 tank tops, 13 tees. And let me read out what Jess wrote about Jessie, okay? The very first pattern I ever learned how to read was the Ripple Bralette DK by Jessie May. I loved the look of her designs and found her patterns to be extremely approachable as a beginning knitter. I returned to her patterns again and again. And then there's a QR code for the pattern library, and then you can see Jess modeling
So beautiful.
all the knits.
Oh. She has discounts available for those with financial need, and then the number of available designs.
Isn't it so
Jess, this
sweet?
is amazing. And then we have Park and Knit. Oh my God, look at all of your different genres.
I know. It was.
Why
so
haven't
sweet.
Why haven't I created a tree garment?
It was so sweet because I opened my page and I was like, "Oh my God, Jess, you're making me look so cool!" Like I didn't even remember that I have some of these things.
Alongside her more traditional designs, Park loves a big whimsical bow. As do we all.
Which I was reading it. I read that and I was like, "Do I love a big bow?" And then I was like, "Oh my God!"
Oh my
It's
God.
when someone sees you even better than you see yourself.
So true. From massive mutton sleeves to the coziest sweater I've ever worn, you'll find your next everyday wear somewhere in this playful catalog of designs. I recommend a cool cap. I've made 5. Oh,
Isn't that
gorgeous.
so
Oh my
sweet?
God, look at that sport tee and the totally
know.
tubular.
I know.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
52. Can you believe that I have 52? I have 59 and you have 52 designs?
That's so many.
You think about how much work that is?
So there are
So much work.
a lot of pages in here.
We have James N. Watts.
Mm-hmm.
We have Jack Studio. We have What Lydia Made. We have Vert and Rose. And we
And
have...
really, I mean,
just all the knit bag. This is such a beautiful idea. And
I was just going to say, in the day of people reverting back to not making designs that are size inclusive anymore, this is great.
is great and very needed.
Very needed.
And this is so much work. Chicago Zine Fest, July 19th. Jess will be selling copies. I don't know if it's available online, but Jess, feel free to promote
Yeah.
in there, and we will include it in the show notes. Am I going to Chicago Zine Fest just to pick up a copy of
Yes.
Jess's zine? This is amazing. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much for doing this. I know it's a huge labor of love, and you are so talented.
Yes.
The drawing and cartoons
It's so
are
beautiful.
so cute. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Knit Big, Volume
Knit Big
1.
Volume 1.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you, Jess.
And you got to keep that copy, Jess.
Yay. I will love it and cherish it and put it in my little knitting bag for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was beautiful.
That was beautiful. Okay, our next order of business is we have a Lamb and Kid event again, like we did last
Event
year.
Announcement.
It was we did the Lamb and Kid event last year as a kind of a knit night meetup. It was really fun. We had such a good time, and we're going back this year. So that is they call it the Jessie, James, and Park Summer Soiree. So that is July 25th from 5 to 7 if you happen to be in the Seattle Bainbridge Island area.
Yes. For those of you not familiar, the Lamb and Kid is a beautiful yarn shop in Winslow. I don't know if that's the name of the town or the municipality on Bainbridge Island. But they have a gorgeous shop, and everybody there is so nice.
Yeah.
And they promote our designs a lot, even before we ever went there. But yeah, so that's where
We
we'll
had
be.
so
Beautiful
much
event
fun.
space. I will say the event last year was so fun. They did like a
So
gorgeous
fun.
like charcuterie board, and
We met so
we
many
met
fun
so
people.
many fun people that we've like kind of known online.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just fun. It was really sweet and fun.
Yes.
Our friend Lindy came with us. Caden
So-
also came with us.
Yeah, we
only for a
had-
little while. But
We had our plus ones.
we had our plus ones. So yeah, we'll be there on the 25th.
And that's that.
And that's only 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah. Yeah, like less than 3 weeks actually. So fun.
Okay, everyone. SpawnCon.
SpawnCon.
Okay, so we thought that we wanted to do another Coco Knit section because now we have been using our products, the new to us products, and the ones we already had. But we've been now using at least the new ones for how many months now? Like
almost
three or four. So a lot. And so we feel like we can give a nice little review, and mainly what we wanted to do this time is to show you what we are packing and how we are packing them for our upcoming travel, because that I use it around the house constantly,
Yeah.
but it's so nice to be able to like kind of tweak the different things to make it so it's really easy for travel.
Yes.
Do you want to go first?
I
or do
mean,
you
of
want-
course
can-
we
let's
have
swap.
everything that we need to knit is in our houses. It's really the like on the go stuff that I don't know.
Yeah.
I find,
But I mean, like, I've been using mine in my day to day.
No, for sure. Me
Oh,
too.
okay.
Me too. But that's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
like, yeah, what we have in our house is what we have in our house. But like the time that I really need to think about what's going into
Yes,
my,
you
like,
have to make sure that
yeah,
you have
have to make
your
sure you have
items
your
packed.
items packed and
True.
yeah. So, and I just always have my items packed, it feels, in this, but
Is my other item. Oh, it fell.
uh-oh.
Oh.
So
Got
yeah,
it.
we'll talk about should we do our project portfolios first?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, this is our
sorry,
project wallet.
Project wallet. Let's talk about our project wallet. So let's do a size comparison.
Yeah.
So mine is not as stuffed as Park's.
Yeah, mine's very stuffed.
But this is this is for sure my most used.
Yeah, this is probably both of our number one most used new to us
Yours
items.
is so much less beat up than mine. Look at mine. Mine is getting a real nice patina.
I
as
know,
we're
I
calling
like
it.
yours looking wrinkled.
It's looking wrinkled and it's getting like worn down. But let's show the innards, as I love to call them and as Park loves to hear them called.
The innards. This is exactly the type of content
Emphasis on
that I want to
nerds.
consume.
Yeah, same.
Looking at inside the innards of
Oh
people's
my god, you have
well-used
a pink
tools.
clip.
I know.
Cute. I didn't know they had hot pink.
Yeah, they have the pink and the blue.
Oh, right.
You did know
That's
that.
right. I did know that.
Okay, so I have an eyelash in my eye. No, it's okay. All right, so what I had to do, because let's talk about what we were working on already. So I have my Noro pullover that I'm going to be taking on my trip with me. And so I'm about to get to the ribbing. So I have the needles to do the sleeve, and I have the needles to do the ribbing and the ribbing. And those are already packed. Ooh, actually, I need to add something else.
What?
Mental note to myself. Kaden, if you're watching this, can you write this down? I need to bring my ribbing needles for my body. Okay. Thank you. Someone message me that if I don't remember. Just kidding. Okay, so I have my multiple needles sizes that I'm going to need for that. I also just had to throw in my sock needles because I'm going to be starting my... Oh, wait, I already started that. So they were in here, but I grabbed them out. So I have my sock needles for that. I have my stitch holders and my try-on cord.
Oh my god, that's so many stitch holders, babe. She's prepared.
Maybe I need
this lady is
maybe I
prepared
need
to hold.
Maybe I need to hold all 20 of my sleeves. What else do I have in here? Oh, I have my fuzz-off comb.
Oh.
You never know when you're going to need
True.
to get rid of some pills. And then I have on my clip, my magnet clip, which I love this magnet situation. I have my tapestry needles here on the back side, and on the front side, I have magneted the Coco Knits row counter. And you guys, I need to say something. I kind of was like, I'm too advanced to need a row counter. Come on. And then I was working specifically on my scrappy purse. And you know, sometimes when you like add a garter row into stockinette and then the V's are not, like the rows are not as clear sometimes. And I needed them to be exactly the same. So I was like, oh no, I need to actually track this. And I was about to start just making my tallies. And then I was like, my Coco Knits row counter. And it is really nice. Oh,
You
yeah,
said
there's
you've been
a lock.
using it all the time.
I've been using it a lot. There's a lock. And then, wait, let me ASMR for you.
No.
And then the magnet on the back, so you can just have it. Very satisfying.
And I don't know if you can see, but these they sit up. Like they
Yeah.
sit right up.
So your stuff can just
So
be.
your stuff can just be in there. Even my little skinny one does that.
And then I have a tape measure, and this, if you missed it, this is one of the Coco Knits hacks that really did change my life. So these little tabs can be pulled out for smaller items, and then in this, I have one of their magnets thrown in with just all my random stitch markers. And that's my favorite. So then I have my snips on another magnet, and those are my project wallet innards.
Somebody said there's also a wrist magnet you can attach it to, and
Ooh.
we'll be talking about that
We'll get to
momentarily.
that.
Okay, so in mine, I have a little bit more negative space in mine, but I do have everything I need, and I have traveled with this extensively. I've gone on many road trips, and not road trips, with this, and it has replaced. Formerly, I was keeping everything in kind of like a little tiny zipper, but I was definitely like skimping on what I needed, right? Like I didn't have some of the stuff that I have in here. I had basically a darning needle, snips, a measuring tape, and maybe like a stitch fix, and then that was, and stitch markers, and that was it. And it was about this big, and it was just like a little leather wallet that I do love, and it is certainly much smaller than this, but this has everything I need in it. And moreover, I don't care if this is in my bag. I don't worry about it getting torn. I know it looks like paper, but it is cotton. It's like, it is paper,
craft-
but it's
it's
craft
fabric
paper. So it's really durable. It doesn't tear, it doesn't rip. And I a little bit lost my train of thought. But what I have in mine is a little compact, like Clover tape measure. I too have the magnet, which has my snips on it. It has a T-pin for interchangeables.
Ooh, I need to add a T-pin to mine.
Many stitch markers. Many different varieties. There's actually 2 magnets here.
And those are also the Coco Knit
Coco
stitch
Knit
markers,
stitch
because they're all
markers.
metal, and they are both of our favorites because
Yeah.
they have the cute colors.
And Park made me realize that if I want to, I can, if I'm working on something, I can pull these little snips off and put them like on the magnet so that they're just sticking up there if I
Yeah,
need
ready
them,
to
which is
grab.
so great. And then the other things that I have in this sleeve in particular, which I can pull out, such a good hack, is these are for tightening my Chow-Goo interchangeables. I have a stitch fix, looks metal but it's not, so it doesn't stick to the magnet. And then I have stitch holders for my Chow-Goo interchangeables also for the small cord. So that is like basically all my notions in one tiny little
Perfect.
folder. And the magnet is sticking to itself. It's very strong. I have my little clips.
I love the clips.
And then I like to use these little cord organizers that you can clip everything together on.
Smart.
But what I have in here right now is always, like I've said before, a size 0 needle for socks if I want to start a sock project on the road. One set of stitch holders, and then my little try-on cord. clipped together. I don't have the needles I need yet because I'm not sure what I'm going to be working on. I think I'm going to be working on mini mock neck DK, but that's going to be very fast. So I'll probably have just ribbing needles because my project will be on the needles by then, hopefully. So I'll add my ribbing needle. Is there anything else I'm going to add to this? I think that's it for the trip because as long as I have my extra set of size 0 needles, I just bring a skein of sock yarn in case I want to, do that. And then I have to show you. I just love fastening this up.
I know, it's really satisfying.
Really fun, and you get to do a little blip, and then there you have it. So this, of everything we've gotten, this is my most used. I throw it into my linen bag that has all my stuff in it for the day, and it is incredible. I love it.
That's the Project
Wallet from Coco Knits.
The other thing we both are taking on our trip is our project portfolios. This is really packed.
Yours is very packed.
I have actually been using this at my desk every day because I have a little shelf next to my desk and I have 1 million notebooks. And so I decided that this would just be my park and knit working thing. So it's like I have one notebook that's for my like knitting projects that I just need to take quick notes on. I have one that's for releases, and then I have one now that's like I'm trying to be better at like tracking my goals and like being a little more organized of like my inspiration lists and like that kind of thing. So I have everything in here and I love that. I did switch it out for my trip because I'm not going to necessarily need all of those items. So I will show you these innards. I love getting to use
our knitters.
I love
our knitters.
our knitters. Our knitters. Okay, so
ooh, a secret to-do list.
Actually,
I love to see it.
This is actually like my little list for how to like format stuff that I needed to write down, and I need to write it down in a better spot. But okay, so to start, I have my bullet journal. Don't look at it. I forgot.
I love reading it.
But I have like my bullet journal, which if you've followed me for a while, you know I love my bullet journal. So that I'm taking on my trip, obviously, because it just will help me keep, while I'm gone, keeping everything organized.
Bullet journals, another topic. Maybe
true,
next.
I can
maybe
do a
next
whole
show.
knit nat chit chat on bullet journals. So that's just to have my schedule and everything with me while I'm gone. This is my like quick knitting notes, like as I'm knitting. Ooh, this is very intimate. Don't look at my notebooks. This is just my knitting notebook that's like my notes of when I'm just knitting and I need to write stuff down quickly to keep track. And then this is my art journal because I've been getting into that recently.
Show us your art.
Okay, actually, I love this page. Look at how cute my new markers are.
That is such a good page. Oh my god.
Maybe someday I'll do my full art journal tour. But I've been getting into it more of trying to have more of a art practice that is low stakes and just for fun. But
so good.
That is my art journal, so I'm going to take that with me because will I use it? I hope so.
You used
been
your
really
art
trying
journal last
to.
time we were in Washington.
Yeah.
It's very inspiring to be there.
Yeah, and I want to be able to just have that. I'm not taking my regular journal, like my writing journal, so I was like, this can be both of them, and that felt very fun. So, and then I just have my pen hooked to the back, and I have a few more pens and pencils in here. And this little like style of, I know my art journal is very heavy, but the style of them all hooked to these cords is so nice.
It works better than you would ever imagine it would.
And it's so fun for my little like journal notebook loving heart to be like, look at my portfolio of all my notebooks. And let me close it up. So this is what I'm going to be taking with me.
I don't have a journal loving heart, but I do in my mind, but I just in practice, I don't do it. I don't have a practice of doing it. I've been trying to get better at it because of this lady here. But let me show you mine. I added the aqua cord, and I have like the little lime,
the aqua's
lime cords.
cute.
Okay. So,
Cute.
I mean, this is funny because it's the same thing that Park has. Sometimes I have my little bullet journal.
Maybe I'll put mine there.
Sometimes I have it in here, but it doesn't flop as well. And I'm always pulling this out to like
maybe I'm gonna
write
do that.
in it. So
Good
hold
idea.
Hold on. I lost my pen in the
Cute.
frame. I actually think that this pocket is for an iPad. It's supposed to fit an iPad in it. And if I had a better iPad, my iPad is so old. I guess I could still use it, but it doesn't even like have Word on it or anything at this point.
I don't
So
use an
if
iPad.
I use an iPad more, I would do that. But this is my bullet journal of just like scheduling. And it's the same one that Park has. So that I keep in here.
I try to be a bullet journal influencer whenever I can.
Yeah, and I have found that the way that she had me set it up is actually great for my purposes. It's very little effort, and it's like there's a year spread for months where you add loose plans, and then each month you write out your month, and that actually has worked really well for me in terms of like
Just looking ahead
and figuring
not
out
having
where
to
you
keep
are
everything
in
in your
time.
brain.
Yeah, which I don't know if that's good for me actually, because I sometimes find it more overwhelming to have it written down, and like I don't know, it's not a natural way of prioritizing things to me, so it kind of reminding myself of it constantly makes me more nervous because it's not always on my mind otherwise.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then this is my little Midori notebook, the same one not the same one Park has, maybe the same one but a different cover.
It is the same one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but I
have the little paper
and
cover.
I have the clear cover.
I should get the clear cover. Well, I guess the reason they have the paper cover
Yours
is
is a
for
cute
this.
one.
I know, but it has like a mark on it, and maybe some grease even. But frogged.
What did I write that for?
There's a design, or there's something written, and it's a huge block that just said frogged.
Hey, Jessie, this is intimate. Don't read my notebook.
You're the one who's flapping it out in front of me.
Where is it?
I don't know. It was a huge box that said frogged, and it really made me laugh.
Maybe I should revisit
What was it? Maybe you should.
That's crossed out.
It was a big purple box, and it said frogged. You find that, and I'll talk about what this is. So this is my, like, again, even when I'm writing a pattern, you know, sometimes I'll like chart out a confusing part visually, but I kind of use this as a, what's it called, like an everything notebook.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, I just took a boater safety course online, and I have all my notes for it in here.
That's basically
really funny.
what a bullet journal is.
Yeah, so it's like,
It's using
you know,
it for what you want.
but this isn't a bullet journal. This is
No,
just
I
my
know.
like my life notes.
But it's basically
so
the same thing.
it's some knitting notes. Some you know, when I first started designing, I would write everything down in a notebook.
Me too.
Not so much anymore. Maybe I should get back to that.
I do now mainly on computer.
That's what I do
But
too.
when you need to really write something down, you really need to just write it down.
Yeah, I definitely used to always dedicate it to
Frogged.
paper first. Frogged. There it is.
White cotton tunic. For the best.
For the best.
Sounds ugly.
True. I agree. You'll never see me knitting a tunic, that's for sure. Anyway, yeah, so I have this in one of the little flippy things, and then I have actually my maker's board, which this would actually be super practical if I was going to be knitting my lace design, because this maker's board, we've shown it before, but it has everything on it, and it's all
so
magnetized.
nice.
And the way that it just stays and is compact is really incredible. But I probably will bring my maker's board with me.
Well, the way that you
To
have
Washington?
it organized, you can just literally set it up next to you and you have everything.
Everything, and you could just slap it on the board. So we're going to be parked in Washington for a few days.
Bring that so we
can
put
all
it,
use
yeah,
it.
you can put it on the table and we can be like,
yeah,
oh, I
it
need
can be
stitch
a
marker.
communal grab board when you're on vacation with your friends. So that is what I have in my project portfolio. I also have just 3 little pens here, extra pens, and I could fit notes or, you know, travel ephemera in here if I wanted to. So yeah, I already brought this on one vacation and it was great. I brought it on one. When I'm sort of like mid design, I feel like I bring it because I'm using it more. I'm writing in the notes more. So I'll probably bring this traveling.
Bringing mine so that I can even get it more worn in.
I know. I want mine to get softer.
I want mine to get look like I'm really using it all the time.
Yeah. But so yeah, I don't know. This coconut stuff has been very
stuff. Yeah.
A lifestyle change for sure, and I like it. Isn't
And
the jet set top a white cotton tunic?
So true.
We won't talk about that.
So true. We also hope that you know we would not be recommending. We're not going to be lying just to do SpongeCon.
No.
Just so you know.
No.
We only want to give you guys good recs because we know that we don't need 1 million tools, and you want to have. But these are things that, as people who have been knitting for a really long time, these really are items that I have found are super useful in my life. So.
Yes, and I love them. I obviously wouldn't be.
Yeah. We are not.
We're not fake.
We're not. What would be a good word for that? Yeah, fake. We're not liars. Is that what a grifter is?
We're not fake friends. Wewe're not grifters.
We're not grifters.
Yeah, yet.
Yeah.
Maybe someday, depending on how the world, goes.
So true.
Which isn't good.
Oh, yeah. So we have one more thing in our SponCon to show, which is Jessie. This is how Jessie has been using her Maker's Keep, which...
And I almost wasn't going to mention this, but
Yeah.
James screamed when he saw it in my car the other
day.
day.
It's so smart. So the Maker's Keep is designed... It's a magnet that is designed to be worn as a bracelet, and it has kind of that, slap bracelet the closures for that, and you can see that. But look at the way that Jessie has innovated the Maker's Keep for her purposes. It is, they can hear us, so it is on the, what is that called?
I don't know what it is. It's like the handle next to the passenger seat of the car. For when I'm car knitting, I put a darning needle on it. I actually forgot to put the darning needle back on it. It's in my thing. I put a darning needle on it. I usually have stitch markers on it. And honestly, I think it doesn't have any on it right now because I've used all of them. I'm constantly grabbing.
But this is so smart for a road trip do you know how many stitch markers I have lost onto the floor in the seats when you have something that you just need to move really quick. And this way, put it on your car handle and put your little tools on the magnet. And when you're on a road trip and you forgot to pack a stitch marker or something, and here you can be here are all of my tools that I could ever need.
Yes. I hate when I don't have a darning needle specifically, and I'm constantly losing them to the side of the car.
Or snips.
Or snips, yeah.
You never have it when you need them, but with the Maker's Keep, buy coconuts.
In fact, I got a second pair of... I didn't want to have scissor, really sharp snips up there in case something Right, so I got another pair of my little teeny tiny snips. I think they're from...
Or the folding ones would be good, too.
That's true. The folding ones would be good. But I have, the tiniest, miniest snips. That would be perfect for that. Too. So, yeah. I will say... And this is how you know it's real, SponCon. I can't wear it on my wrist. My sensory issues don't allow for it. It feels weird on my wrist personally. So
yeah, it's a good hack.
But yeah, it's great to attach to something near you.
Wow, everyone.
Did we do it?
We did it. That concludes the Knit portion of the evening.
Everybody stop knitting.
Nobody is allowed to knit.
Only chitting.
No one is allowed to knit for the rest of the show. You have to only be chatting in the chat. Just kidding. Unless
you can knit. We won't know, but it will be on your conscience forever. Yeah.
Chit chat, chit chat, chit chat. As if we haven't been chit chatting this entire time.
We've really been chit chatting.
We have been chit chatting.
I thought it was going to be a short episode.
Oops.
I don't always think that. I knew last time was going to be long, and it was. I hope you liked it.
We are getting to a more beautiful sky happening.
We are, and in that same at the same time we get more beautiful because
the lights.
We're not having so much like blown out light. So
luckily everyone now will look on more beauty.
You'll be looking upon more beauty. Okay. What have you been up to, babe?
What have I been up to?
We've seen each other once since the last episode.
And you're going to hear about it.
And you will hear about it. But even when we saw each other, I was like, oh, I feel like we're really blowing our load. Like, in the way of like...
Jessie, don't say that.
Why is Park a prude? She hangs out with me. I don't know why she would be like...
Saying blowing your load in a natural conversation.
It feels good.
Nasty.
It feels so good.
Yeah, Jessie said, oh, we shouldn't chat because we have to save it for Chit Chat. I said, I think we can chat a little bit. We haven't seen each other in a month.
I was like, I don't want to talk.
Well, we didn't really talk.
We didn't talk. It was more action.
Okay, so what I have been up to is I went on a camping trip with the James and Watts. Unfortunately, we timed it for the giant heat wave that hit us, so it was extremely hot. And I'm going to tread lightly here because I do not want to disrespect the Midwest. I love the Midwest. Everyone here should already know I love the Midwest. However, when it comes to camping in the Midwest, I have a very hard time because I grew up very spoiled by camping in the mountains of Idaho and the like. So the elevation mixed with the dry air and the cool nights, it is really hard to go from that to camping in the Midwest. If anyone has any tips or tricks that they incorporate in their Midwest camping or places to go, I would love to hear them. I do think I need to start going more north.
You need to go to the UP.
Yeah, I need to go more north because we went to Warren Dunes, which, okay, it's not that far from Chicago. It's hot. It was fun because you got to swim during the day.
But even Lake Michigan is hot there.
Yeah,
right?
it was really hot. Warm. But the problem is, like, my favorite parts of camping are the fire at night, and we were just getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, which that's why we need more elevation in the mountains. And it's hot outside at nighttime, so you don't even want to be by a fire. And then you're hot in your tent, and you're hot in your sleeping bag. And then my other favorite part of camping is waking up in the morning and putting on your sweats because you're so cold. It's like 40 degrees out, and you make your hot coffee and you sip it and you wait for the sun to start heating up the day. It doesn't happen here. You wake up and you're hot from the night that you just slept.
Waking up in a hot tent with like the sun beating on you too, that is nasty.
And then you really wake up and you're like fighting the mosquitoes to make your coffee, and you're hot, sweating already making your coffee.
Also, there are rumors that it rained.
Oh yeah, so on our last night, there were some really fun moments as well. There was clay at Warren Dunes, so James and I should have incorporated a picture, but we made beautiful art statue pieces that unfortunately on the last night, it poured rain on us, so it ruined our beautiful artwork. We were in the tent, and at 3 a.m., it starts, as the Midwest does, out of nowhere, pouring rain on you. So I had to run out and cover a few things at 3 a.m., and then we just had to... It's kind of cozy though once you have everything settled that it's like pouring rain on you. But it was not fun that day, the next morning, we had to leave. So we were packing up all of our muddy, nasty, dirty, gross equipment.
Yeah, okay, so this is what James and I talked about this a little too, right? So while you were there, I was up north in Hayward, where generally on a super humid heat wave day, it's not going to get cold at night, but generally up there, it is like 15 degrees colder at night than it is here at night. So I'm got back here.
looking for about 60 degrees colder.
Yeah, it's like, I guess it was like 57 one of the nights.
That's nice.
But the thing is, even if you're going to the UP, which is, it's even colder, The mosquito situation is awful, and the black fly situation is
Yeah.
even worse. Like, mosquitoes can be controlled. Black flies,
Horrible.
horrible.
Biting.
It's so hard to control them
Yeah.
and without like
So-
covering your whole body. So
Maybe I just have to go back to the West.
yeah,
do
it's
my
never
camping
going
trips.
to be that type of
Yeah.
camping, or even that, you know, that type of landscape. It's a different camping experience.
And you know what? I do have the dream inside my soul to be like a little bit more of a spontaneous camper, but it's a lot of work. So I'm kind of thinking maybe this is just my sign to do a camping trip that is back when I'm home or something, and because it's going to be work no matter where I am, but at least then I would know that I'm getting the experience I want. However, the problem with that is, I was telling James this too, that here I am singing the praises, but the wildfires are really wild. So every year it's really smoky, and then you're not even allowed to do campfires either. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But
yeah, I I don't know. Part of camping is like dealing with the environment, right? Like that's why people do it, is to get close to nature, and there's no like perfect place to camp. I don't know. That's just like part and parcel
just part of it.
camping. There are certainly places
that are maybe more worth it.
yeah, or if you're into like
certain opinions.
through hiking or
Yeah.
you know, anything like that. There's Isle Royal. There's the Boundary Waters canoe area in northern Minnesota. Like really wild, like beautiful places, but you're never gonna get away from mosquitoes and black flies in the Midwest, especially as you go further north. And somebody said, "What are black flies?" They're just big biting.
They're huge
flies,
and they're black and they're flies and they
undeterred
bite
by
you.
everything. Yeah, and they will bite you. So, and they're really thick just as you get further north.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that was what I was doing then. And then my other little highlight that I wanted to talk about was I saw the play Iraq But Funny at Looking Glass Theater, which our friend, Gloria,
our famous actor friend
Gloria Mciha Petrelli was a star in.
She's a star all the time.
All the time. But this play was one of the best that I have seen in so long, and I do not say that lightly, okay? I don't see a ton of plays, but I have seen a ton of plays in my life, and I'm very honest about my opinions of them, and this one was so good. And I was talking to my friends about it, and it was like, it's naming it, like, it has funny in the name, which is such a tall order and like a way to set yourself up that makes me as the audience member nervous, because I'm like, oh my god,
Is it going to be?
Yeah, I'm really nervous that it's not going to be funny and everyone is expecting it to be. Oh my gosh. Okay, it was written by Utra Azdu, and she is a company member at Looking Glass, I believe. And she plays, so the premise of the play is it follows 5 generations of Assyrian women, and of an Assyrian family, actually. And Utra plays the English gentleman. And so she's in this full costume where she truly is unrecognizable. And she is so funny. You were just, as I say, cracking up.
Yeah.
It was a dark comedy, so you're like laughing, and then you have like gut punches, like one after the other, feeling of like, oh, this like hurts, because it's about colonization. It's about like so many. You like leave there having just gotten like truly like a huge history lesson, and then you also just have to like sit with the world that we're living in today, and like.
It sounds like you felt everything, babe.
You felt everything. You feel everything.
Yeah.
And it was in a way where it was like kind of inviting you in to like sit with it all, and then catching you off guard with things where you're like, oh my God. Basically, like, not to give a spoiler, but I did not expect to be like weeping while I'm watching like a dance number to Britney Spears' Toxic. That's all I'll say. Where you're like, Holy shit. Gloria was an absolute star, as they always
Star
are.
and everything.
Utra was absolutely amazing. She was a playwright and starred in it as the English gentleman. And her brain, just wow, as you say. Her brain just wow, because she had to keep so many facts up there at the same time. And then she was doing like a little bit of improv-y stuff at the same time. And wow. So anyway, that runs till I think like July 20th at Looking Glass Theater. If you are in Chicago or find yourself in Chicago, highly, highly, highly recommend. What else? Oh, you can get rush tickets. That's what we did, which is you can just show up a little bit before the play and see if they have any tickets still available. And then they were only, I think, $15 or $20. And otherwise, they have tickets online. And highly recommend. That's that.
Love it.
What
So
have you
glad
been up
had
to?
fun. Well, I've been doing a little bit of travel, like casual weekend travel, I guess. I went to, I think I was on my way to the St. Croix powwow last time we talked, went up there, Turtle Lake, Wisconsin's powwow. I mean, the St. Croix Band of Ojibwe in northern Wisconsin. Very close to my hometown. In fact, I think a lot of people from St. Croix are related to people in LCO. But St. Croix has a powwow, and it rained on the first night, so the first session was canceled. The second day was like under a tent, which isn't what I was expecting. Like, it was cold. Luckily, I brought a little fleece, so I was.
Phew,
I
you don't
was
always
prepared
prepare.
for the weather for once, but it was sad to have one of the days rained out, and then finally on the third day it was nice, so that was a normal day. But that was a little bit of a rainy weekend, and then the weekend after that was the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe has a powwow in Hinckley, Minnesota, which that was an extremely hot. That was while you were camping, so heat wave. It was so hot. I was actually wondering if they were going to cancel the session because, I mean, if you're watching people
dancing
in regalia, it is
heavy.
heavy. A lot of it is wool. It was actually, they did make the session shorter and like only have the kids dance for like some of it, but I was actually quite concerned that they were going to have people dance, but it ended up being managed like really well. The heat index was like 103 or 104. It was so hot. It was so hot that people were having, they didn't have insoles in their moccasins, they were getting burns on their feet because it's on turf, right? So this powwow circle is actually on artificial turf, and it gets so hot on people's feet. It was really awful. Like, people were getting burns on their feet. So it's just, I don't know. That's the nature of weather and outdoor events, I guess. But that was like a hot one. So I don't know. Hopefully the next one I go to, which is this weekend, in Prairie Island, just like near Red Wing, Minnesota, there is going to be a powwow that we're going to, and I'm hoping that the weather will be normal for that, but I think they have like an indoor contingency plan in the event that it's not, so hopefully that'll be a normal weather one. But I have so much work to do before then. I need to write this pattern and get going and finish this one. But yeah, anyway, the other place I went is the cabin that I told you about in LCO. So I knit on the dock for 5 days and was just trying to get, my brother and sister-in-law hadn't been there yet. They live in LA. So my mom and I were just trying to get the cabin ready for their arrival.
Knitting on
which
the dock
is
for
kind
5
of
days
stressful,
is so nice.
but also knitting on the dock for 5 days was really nice. It's just like peaceful and in nature, and even though I'm working, because I'm knitting, it definitely feels like a little bit like a vacation. So I don't know, I feel very lucky to get to do knitting as my job and to like have that be part of when I'm working, so that was lovely. And I'll be going back later this month. In fact, we're both about to embark on major,
lovely little times of knitting on
a
docks.
lot of travel, just a lot of travel knitting. So that's what I've been up to. What have you all been up to? Anything cool?
Yeah, let us know what you have been up to. Anything that you would like to exalt in the chat. We would like to exalt something.
We have a very specific exaltation,
which is what we have been teasing this whole episode. It is the one time that Jessie and I hung out this past month. It was
And James.
2 nights
I
ago.
haven't seen James for a
Too long.
long time. Over a month. Like,
Too long.
too long.
So we finally were all 3 able to hang out, and
We sisters 3.
we sisters 3, as we like to do, hang out. We finally made it work, and we decided to do an evening beach hang, which was very impromptu because we weren't sure if we were just going to hang out at someone's house. It was a Saturday. It was like, okay, it's going to be busy.
I
it's
had the
hot.
wrong impression of what this. I thought we were having a business meeting, so I was like, I don't want to work.
Yeah, we were kind of like, what are we going to do?
We were dreading it.
And
I was dreading it actually because James requested a summit of sorts, and I was like, oh, I don't want to talk about work.
Let the record show Jessie was dreading hanging out with us. Okay, so
Happens.
we did an evening beach hang, and we get to the beach, and as we're walking to our spot, I see this like cart full of equipment, like chests, and I go, okay, like people in Chicago, they're always up to stuff, so
Yeah.
you just
When
kind
you
of
live in a
just
city, you see
just
weird
track
things.
it and you go whatever.
Whatever.
So we set up, and then the cart, I see the guy with the cart like moving down the beach, and I'm like, he starts to set up something, and he definitely had a chair, like a weird chair, and lots of chests. And I was like, Jessie, James, what do you think he's setting up for? I was like, do you think he's like gonna give like beach massages? I think James said maybe he's giving beachside veneers.
We had a lot of theories.
And I said, and then he finally gets this chest, and I go, oh no, a DJ. And we all kind of collectively went,
It's
No.
always kind of sad when somebody imposes bad music on you in a peaceful
on
setting.
a beach. We're like, and no offense to DJs, but I'm sure you all know the sort where you're like, I want
Not
to
all
sign up.
DJs are
No,
good.
and I want to sign up for a DJ event.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to, when you're out in nature at the beach, you might just want a peaceful evening and not have to be subjected to someone's DJ
I
set.
would say that most people who go to the beach are trying to have a relaxing time
in
not
nature.
a party time. I mean, party in a beach way, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess the beach is always a little bit of a party,
Yeah.
but
So then this DJ starts his
we're in the
set.
water, by the way.
He
at this
starts
point.
his set.
There's
We-
some
yeah.
point where we realize it's definitely a DJ.
It's definitely a DJ.
And we're in the water.
And we're in the water. First of all,
And
the
we all
water.
say, oh.
We're like, great, here's
the water
DJ.
was freezing.
Water was uncharacteristically freezing.
It
We
had been
think it had
raining.
rained. It was like really cold, like almost unbearable, but we still unbearable to most people, but not
me.
to us. So all of a sudden, I would say not even 5 minutes into his set.
I would say maybe even 30 seconds. into
30
the set.
seconds into the music. We all
look at each
three-
other.
We all
We
sisters,
sisters
three are bopping.
look at each other and say, wait, is this good?
Wait,
Wait, is
I
he
think
going
James
good?
said, wait, I need to admit something. And I said, you're liking it? And James said, I'm loving
loving
it. And I said, me too. And so we all are just like bopping in
We
the
are
water.
dancing.
Can't help
Water
ourselves.
dancing
It
for
was-
an hour at
What do
least.
we even think the vibe was? It was exactly the type of music you want to bop in the water to
Yes.
during the day. It was
Yes.
still light outside.
It
Okay.
wasn't like weird pop hits that were remixed. It wasn't what?
Tell me when I need to do this.
Well, should we talk first about how
Yeah.
we were bopping in the
So we're
water?
bopping in the water.
We were truly dancing like no one was watching. Although
No one else was
probably
dancing.
everyone was watching because nobody was dancing.
No
which-
one else was dancing. And
To be fair, nobody else was swimming either.
true. And the DJ was facing away from us, and it was kind of like filled with families at this time. It was packed, but we were the
Yeah.
only 3 people dancing. And
We
I
sisters
was
3.
It was confusing because I couldn't help but dance a little bit. Okay? Yeah,
Me
ambient
neither.
beach dance.
And I'm not a dancer.
Yeah, it
At
takes a
all.
lot to
It
get
takes
you
a
to do your
lot
bop.
to get me to bop.
So we're dancing. We're kind of like going about our little beach time.
We are private dancing together in an extreme way, for sure. We had specific dances. We did a seagull dance. We did. What other dance did we do?
A lot of dances.
We did a lot of different dances.
So we start thinking, we're like, wow, this is maybe the best thing that's ever happened. I wonder how long this DJ is going to be here.
And we got to the beach
so fun.
We got to the beach at maybe
5:30ish. So we knew like it was evening. We probably were not planning on staying too long, especially after we felt the water. But
we probably would have stayed until maybe 8.
Yeah. But then we were like, this DJ has really caught our attention.
Uh-oh.
So we start scheming. We're like, we might need to stay long to continue this beach dance vibe. So we remembered that we had one leftover thing of firewood in James's
hold on.
car.
First, we remembered that we had a friend who we were trying to get to come to the beach with us.
Oh yeah,
And our first line of attack,
Jeremy
was texting Jeremy to send our location and say, we had 2 lines of attack, by the way. First line of attack was sending Jeremy an urgent text and then saying, we need fireworks soon, or we need firewood soon.
Yes.
That didn't work. The second line of attack was James posting our exact location in his Instagram story,
saying we need someone to build us a fire. And then the third line of attack was the best attack, which was I said, I can build a fire. James, just go get that firewood. And luckily, we did also kind of need sweatshirts because we were really cold from the freezing water. So James was especially motivated to go get the free firewood that we had in the back of his truck.
And
his car.
Shout out to James. If you haven't been to our favorite beach, it's not like an easy, it's kind of easy to get to, but it's a little bit of a hike. It's like, and to get from where we were to James's car would have been a walk of maybe a half hour at least.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, maybe I can walk, but it would have been a full hour trip. So James loves a Lime scooter and Lime scootered to get the firewood, to get sweats, and Lime scootered back to the beach really fast.
One of the best ever uses of a Lime scooter.
Yes.
One of the only good uses of a Lime scooter, I will say.
So while James is Lime scootering,
as soon as James left,
I'm starting to scout where we can build the fire on the beach. And I am walking down the beach, and as I'm turning, when we were in the water, the DJ did come out into the water at one point to pee, and he's talking and he's like, thanks for dancing, guys. And we're like, yeah, of course, cool. We love it. And he's like, we're really gonna pump up the vibes later tonight. And we were like, oh, you're staying long? And he was like, yeah, we're gonna stay. Last time we stayed until 11 p.m.
and then they kicked us out,
and it's gonna turn into like a rave. And we were like, 11 p.m. and a rave, no thank you. But we were like, okay, yeah, we'll totally do that. So that was our conversation, but at least we knew he was going to be DJing for a while, so we knew the fire was going to be worth it. So I'm starting to scout the fireplace. The DJ runs up to me, and this is what he does. My favorite mermaid. And he shakes my hand. Hi. And I go, hi. And he introduces himself, and then he said,
I'm Justin.
He said, I'm Justin. And I said, hi, I'm Park. And he said, are you guys planning on leaving? And I was like, no.
In fact, the opposite.
In fact, I said that. In fact, the opposite. We are figuring out how to stay as long as we can, and we're getting a fire, and we're getting our sweats. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, we're building a fire too, so we can like collab. We can collaborate on the fire. And I was like, oh, cool. Well, my friend's bringing firewood, so we'll probably build our own, but that's cool. And he was like, okay, good. We're really, and again, he says, we're really about to pump up the vibes. I was like, I can't wait to find out what these vibes are. Then he shows me this video, which he said, this is in addition to him saying, my favorite mermaid. I took this video. Please hold for the best video that is ever going to play. He took that video of us, as you can see, bopping the sisters 3.
And keep in mind, we are behind him. We didn't think he could see us.
But we also were kind of hoping that he at least knew some people were enjoying it.
We wanted him to know that of the probably 100 people that were at the beach, at least 3 people were dancing. It was...
Let me play it again.
need the music to keep going because
I
I'm
know.
ready to do this.
I'm ready to
all
keep
night. This was my favorite dance move.
So we built the fire. As we were building the fire, he comes over again, DJ Justin. Shout out to DJ Justin. He comes over again and is like, hey guys, I'm gonna skateboard back to my house. It's just around the corner. So I'll get another cord, and then I'll also get a shovel so we can do like fire pits and we can collab.
We can do our
again. He
collab.
talks about the collab on the fire, and I was like, sorry Justin, we're not gonna collab on your fire. But I was like, that's awesome.
In fact, we are setting up behind you.
Yeah, but that's awesome. So anyway, all this to say, the vibes, he did pump up the vibes.
He pumped up the vibes majorly, and before we knew it, there were probably 70 people at the rave party. Maybe not. Maybe like 30.
like 30.
30 people at the rave party.
And the
The
lights,
dance floor was full.
dance lights,
There was a disco
happening,
ball.
a disco ball, lights, bunch of people. Our fire is like behind the DJ. They had a fire going to. Ours is like kind of behind the DJ, and it was maybe the best night of my life because you could go in the water. Unfortunately, it was really freezing.
It
but
was so
you could
cool.
go in the water for a little dip, then warm up by the fire that I made and dance while you're warming up. And the vibes, he perfectly, with the transition from day to night,
Yeah.
he perfectly matched the vibe.
Perfectly pumped it up. The people from the party kept coming over and being like, hey, you know you can like hang out with us if you want. And we're
Yeah.
like, we know.
You know, but you guys don't understand. This is literally my
This is-
dream. A
We
dance
Sisters
party.
3.
A dance party that starts at 5:30 p.m. and
At the beach.
at the beach where I can go swimming and have a fire, and goes until only like a reasonable. Actually, we left a little
We
early,
left
but
at
we had
10.
plenty of time to
Yeah.
dance, and where I could dance privately behind the DJ. Oh,
Not private to me.
my dream.
It was beautiful.
So now we are rave girlies.
We are exalting our favorite DJ Select Inverse.
Yes, we had to go up at the end to say, hey, we're leaving, but we loved this so much, and when are you doing it again? So
And they're doing
DJ
it
Select Inverse.
In August, I guess.
Yeah, he said he does it every month. And I
Yeah.
said, we're going to need to
We're
ramp
gonna-
that up
we
to
need
weekly.
that to be every week, but
Weekly. It was magical.
it was. And now we're ravers.
And now we're ravers. Who would have thought?
Now we're ravers who I don't drink and I don't smoke. I'm a sober raver.
Yeah, we were soberly enjoying having the best night of our life.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Loved it. What a happy surprise.
Maybe the happiest.
Who knew? Maybe the happiest, truly. Takes a lot for us to deviate from our routine.
It was very
I
unexpected.
wasn't expecting to be taken by a DJ.
I was saying that, like, we were his biggest haters on the beach. We were the ones,
we went
as
from
he was
his
setting
biggest
up,
haters to his number one fans of all time.
fans. Oh, also, this is another part of it. James and I were in the water, and we started, like, we were, like, joyfully, like, squealing. Like, this is everything that we wanted camping to be. Like, this is what we wish that camping was. Because we just had, you know, our experience of camping. And we were screaming and dancing and so happy. And we didn't realize the DJ was in the water next to us. And he goes, love this energy, you guys. So
Good
sweet.
energy.
So, he also said I could take out his kayak if I wanted to.
Yeah.
He was very generous.
By the way, they never would have known we were the number one haters. We just were hating silently. in
yeah,
our
we were
minds.
hating
We were hiding our hate. but
inside. Yeah, it was
we
the
would
best.
never let them know that we
No.
were hating it.
Yeah,
So, yeah. But then we loved it.
more than love.
3 people who are very
maybe the best night
hesitant
of
to
my
love.
life. Yeah, hard to please.
Hard to please. Okay, babe.
On to our next.
Speaking of lifestyles.
summer spot here. Yeah, speaking of lifestyles.
Speaking of different lifestyles, I am a partaker of the lifestyle called sunglasses at day, sunglasses at night.
Sunglasses inside, sunglasses
Sunglasses
outside,
outside.
sunglasses in the morning, sunglasses at
night.
midnight.
Sunglasses are for the moon also. So at night they're called moon glasses.
Yeah.
And
It was specially requested for
It was
Jessie
specially
to do
requested.
a sunglass showcase.
And I must say that, like, aside from asking for bra recommendations, it's probably my number one question on Instagram that I never ever address is what sunglasses I'm wearing. And y'all are like getting to learn a little secret now. I never like to say if something I have is like expensive because I'm not trying to gatekeep it, but I also don't want people to like, but what I don't want is for somebody to be like, hey, do you have a budget option? Because I don't. Like, these are the sunglasses that I buy, and it's like one of the few things that I
actually invest in, I would say, or like I kind of collect. And you really get your use
and
out
I
of
get
them.
my use out of them. Like, you probably have seen me in every single pair of these sunglasses because I wear all of them.
I certainly have.
I think I'm, you know, like I wear them and they're like my sort of one luxury item that I like. So I, as a visually, it's somebody's saying I admire sunglasses so much, but as a visually impaired girly, I never get to wear them. Now, I don't know what your visual impairment is, but I too am a visually impaired girly. My prescription is maybe minus 3.75, like in each of my eyes, and I have astigmatism. So I have, part of my sunglass collection is prescription. And I like that because I actually don't really like wearing contacts. It hurts my eye, makes my eyes feel really dry and it hurts. So I'm wearing contacts right now, and I usually wear contacts for the show. And some of these are prescription. So as I do my little showcase, I'm going to be like seeing double because it's going to be double prescription. But here goes my sunglass showcase.
Can't wait.
I guess I'll start with my currently most worn pair. Comes in this beautiful little case.
Purple velvet. Oh.
And they are Gucci. These are the Gucci 0903S style. They are champagne. They're like pink. And they look like this.
Cute.
And I love them. I love things. I have a very large head. I feel like it's not conveyed. It's hard to convey on the screen. You can probably tell.
I will co-sign that. She has a very huge head.
And not only do I have a huge head, I have a large face. So like if my hair isn't in my face, you can kind of put your face next to mine. My head looks twice as big as yours. So large.
Are we on the same plane?
It's so large. I have a very large head. So I kind of like when things are proportional to my, my large head. So I like really large sunglasses.
Wait,
and
can I try one too?
Yeah. That is a fun feature. I also have...
Oh, I can't see anything.
I also
obviously.
have really specific fit needs, right? Like I have...
What do I look like?
Beautiful.
Oh.
I love them.
I can't tell.
I wish that they would dwarf my face that much. But I have, I have very big cheeks, and I don't have a particularly high nose bridge. In fact, I have a very low nose bridge. So, like, physiologically, or like, it's kind of hard to find things that fit my face and that I like the look of. So when I find something I like, I often will get two pairs. So I really want to get the brown pair of these. I like
brown would be pretty.
I like the transparent pink outside, but I also love brown. But I wear these all the time. They do sit on my cheeks a little bit, but they don't have a nose pad, so it's quite like comfortable, and I like them. I will say that if you, like me, have like sort of really full and big cheeks and low nose bridge, all of these are like a really good fit for that like type of face. Next up, we have no longer in production. Makita Studio.
Oh yes, these are
These
one
are
of your
called
iconic ones.
the 6.3 Sun. They're like from 2017 or something, but I wear these all the time. I love them. Makita is it's like a luxury German brand, and I need to show you that they're bendy.
Whoa.
They're like, they are very super bendy, and I love these for when it's really hot outside because they're so lightweight. They sit on my face super comfortably, and I don't feel like heaviness on my face, and I feel like they're really good for when it's like, ooh, this double prescription is wild, but I do love and I love kind of when they fall really low on my nose. A round style. This is what they look like. Your turn. These are going to be...
Unfortunately, I can't see what I look
You'll
like
see-
in any of
You'll see
these.
if you rewatch. We never rewatch our episodes. It's too embarrassing, but I like those. You have a pair of glasses that are like those. Those look really good on you, actually. Okay, so that was Makita 6.3 Sun. No longer in production. Maybe you can find them on eBay if you love them. The rest of my sunglasses that I'm going to share today are from, I think it's a British sunglass designer. The brand is called Linda Farrow, and I think they've been around since like maybe the 70s or 80s. I feel like the original person who created the brand no longer runs it. Like I think maybe their son runs it or something, but I love their sunglasses. So I have I have many. This isn't even all of my sunglasses. But I'll do, this first pair is a collaboration with Matthew Williamson. He's an interior designer. I don't know if you know who he is. He does like really cool patterns and like colors. He's like known for like a lot of like patterns and colors in his design. You would like it.
Okay.
But this is the poppy. This is a Linda Farrow times Matthew Williamson collaboration, and I don't know if you've ever seen me wear these. They're kind of new.
I haven't.
But they're quite
You're giving
see-through.
such a sexy 70s vibe with your middle part and your blowout.
That is a vibe that I like to give.
Yeah, this is perfect.
That is an era of style that I love.
Very sexy.
So I love these. I like that you can really see my eyes in them. And I think he did a few, I'll show you another pair in a second. Oh, those are cute on you.
look like a
These are not
bug.
prescription. You do look like a bug, as do I. Those look so good, especially with this. Are you kidding? I love it. Pretty white case too. It's a Matthew Williamson case, but this is a Linda Farrow Matthew Williamson collab. And then my second pair of round ones that were also a collab between that designer and Linda Farrow are the geraniums, which I think they did like a poppy, a geranium, and there might have been one more. But I love these because they're also round, but they have this like kind of scalloped
Yeah, cute.
detail around the edge. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, there we go. Or get it to focus, but it kind of almost I don't know, maybe you can see it when I have them on.
Cute.
But I love these. They're quite similar to the other ones, but the lens is darker. And I also really like these. I like that they like fit my face.
Do you try
know?
them on in a store, or do you
No.
do the online
I've
try-on
never
and you
seen
just
Linda Farrow
know?
in a store. I think there's like one store in Chicago that
So
carries
you
Linda
just
Farrow.
kind of know, you go by the
I
measurements.
look at the measurements and I sort of figure out if they might, and it's really easy to return if they don't work
Oh,
out.
okay.
But I do love those. This is a vibe that I really like. Round.
Big round.
Big round, 70s-ish aesthetic. Okay. The next pair that I will show you is also Linda Farrow, and they sent me this like double travel case for sunglasses that's like really beautiful one time when I ordered their sunglasses. But this is Linda Farrow by Times. How do you pronounce a collaboration? Is it like Times or is it just like X?
I don't know.
I like
say
never
with.
know. With okay.
I don't know.
Linda Farrow with Paco Rabanne, I think is how it's pronounced. It's a French, I think it's a French like fashion designer, originally from Spain, but I think they were maybe more prominent in like the 80s or 90s. But they did a collab with Linda Farrow. And this style is called the Daniel in
Oh my god.
in honor of the first black supermodel whose name was Daniel Luna.
Look at those.
And these really dwarf my face, and I love it. I love looking like a little bug. You can kind of see.
Pretty. Oh, pretty.
I love
really
them.
pretty.
I love them. Here's how I like my hair. I either like it all up in my face. Sometimes I like it parted all the way on one side and I have it partially in the front, or I like it fully back. It's like, those are the three ways I like to wear my hair. So when I'm wearing these sunglasses, I think I really like when I have my hair like back. But also it's good when my hair is kind of, I don't know, I think it looks cool when my hair like
It is cool.
falls. And I love all of the Lindo Farrow styles that have this wide arm have a little hole. In fact, one of my pairs has like a chain that like
so
comes
cool.
down and it's really cool. So I have these in the tortoiseshell color, and I also have it in this sexy black with white on the sides. Just black and tortoiseshell are totally different vibes for me. And it's kind of amazing to me how much harsher like the black looks, but sometimes this is what I'm
The vibe
going
you
for.
want. Yeah.
Sometimes this is the vibe I want. In fact, in general, I don't really love black on me. I used to wear black all the time, but I do feel a little bit like true black like washes me out sometimes. But maybe not with my
It's
current
very striking.
tan. I know. I do like it. So yeah, this is Maya says there's a great documentary about Danya Luna.
Nice.
But yeah.
Should I try on those giant ones?
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna make
These
my
are
face
going
look
to be-
teeny weeny weeny.
Even bigger on you.
They don't stay on, but also this.
I know. That is really wild. But that's how
You know what?
That's
It's a
how
look.
wide I need it to be
This is
in
very
order for it to
Iris Apfel. Huge
in
glasses.
order for it to fit my face.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I think X
You say X for a collab.
says the glasses shopping is easier in Asia where glasses come with nose pads for better fit. True. Many of these don't have nose pads at all. Bug Park just landed. It's so true. Okay. Oh, James is saying that Anna, his friend from Croatia, is a big Paco Rabanne girly, which I didn't know.
Nice.
Love that. Okay. The last two pairs of sunglasses I will talk about are probably my most worn in the last few years, but currently not. Something kind of weird happened with this black pair. I stored them over winter, and they kind of smell a little bit like moldy. Not moldy, but like, right? They smell like mildewy almost. Don't love it. Haven't worn them for a while.
They smell like grandma's house. Vibe.
Yeah.
Like when you're in her like 70s.
It smells like
basement or
smells like
something.
mildewy, I have to admit. I haven't worn them for a while because of that, but this is the Dunaway style, I think in honor of like Faye Dunaway, like, and it's like a cat eye style that I wore. They sit a little, these really sit kind of pretty high on my face and on my nose, so a lot of the other styles do sit on my cheeks a little bit, but my face, like the width of my face can support them. These are quite tight, like, and just stay put a little higher. So, I don't know, you get a little more of my face, which I don't always love, but they're lower. Maybe you don't.
We like it.
So I have these in black, and I really just love the like gold detail. Are you all enjoying this? I hope so, because
Everyone is loving it,
okay.
including me.
And this is my final pair. It's just the white pair of the Dunaways. And I will say again, I don't have a budget option for these, and none of these are cheap. And I'm just saying that
Gorgeous.
to say it.
So just so everyone knows, Jessie's sunglasses lifestyle is that she always forgets to bring her regular glasses. So, and she also always assumes that we will just be home when it gets dark.
It's always my goal to be home before dark.
But
That
that,
says a lot
does
about
not
me.
always happen.
In fact, it never happens.
Never happens.
If I'm out, not for a
So
while.
the song "I Wear My Sunglasses at Night," I wear my sunglasses at night, is written for Jessie May. We are always out and about, walking outside in the dark, and I am walking with someone wearing sunglasses.
I can't help it that I'm very beautiful in sunglasses. Also, I love people not being able to read. I think that I have like an expressive face, so I like not having
likes
an as readable
to hide.
face. I love hiding. I love being in disguise. I love not being perceived, and nobody can perceive me when I'm wearing my sunglasses.
Do you want to wear them the rest of the show?
Yeah, maybe I will. What else do I have to say about sunglasses? Oh, you already know that it's my disguise for going into yarn shops. I had another. Oh, the other night when Park and I were driving home from James's house, shockingly I had actually brought my real glasses to the beach because I thought we might be at the beach late, and the first sunglasses that I showed are quite dark, so I knew I would need them for navigating the beach, and I put them on, and as I was driving home with Park in the car, we dropped James off, and I said, I need to say something toxic, and she said, what? And I said, I miss wearing sunglasses when I drive at night because actually I have astigmatism. So the sunglasses in the city, especially where, you're mostly looking at lights, it really helps, like, to not have so much glaring light.
I said, yes, it does help with that. It probably doesn't help with seeing pedestrians crossing the street.
No, that is always my fear.
Very good.
But I can kind of see. Anyway.
Round of applause, chat, for Jessie doing her sunglass showcase.
I've been told by my friends that I should keep a pair of spare glasses in the car, and maybe I should. But I don't really have a ton of. I have one pair of Prada regular glasses that I like for everyday wear, and they're the same glasses that I've worn. What I do in excess with sunglasses, I do the opposite with actual glasses. So I have one pair of actual glasses that I like to wear, and I don't buy any more. And really, I always wear these when I leave the house anyway. So I don't know. It's my little. What's it called? Some people like to collect sneakers. I like to collect sunglasses.
I need to read out James's comment in the chat, which is, I need everyone to know that Jessie was sitting in my house watching Love Island in my living room in sunglasses at night. Jessie, I was texted a picture of Jessie doing that, and James said that she stood up and said, hold on, I need to get my sunglasses because I'm missing all these micro expressions.
Picture this. Of course, I did my thing where I actually that day intended to bring my glasses because I knew I was going to James's house after the beach and I wanted to watch TV and I need my glasses to watch TV. Mm-hmm. I left my glasses by accident at home, as I often do. But I actually that day intended to bring them, and I just forgot. So we got there, and James and I we'll talk about this later. James and I had decided we were going to start watching Love Island, a show I'd never watched before. And James has the biggest TV you can ever imagine in the smallest room you can ever imagine. The TV is like half the size of the room. I'm sitting maybe 3-4 feet away from it, and I can't see it clearly. So I had to get my sunglasses to see clearly, and you know what? Mm-hmm. I don't regret it. It was required viewing, and I didn't view it, and I didn't want to miss a
because
thing.
I got a great picture of her. It's hilarious. Very hilarious.
Yeah, what little collection will Park show us next time?
Don't know.
Something to think about. So yeah, I think I will take these off, actually. But
for the best.
Now everybody who wanted to know anything about any sunglasses I have knows.
You get all the deets.
You get all the deets, and please don't judge me for having a fancy sunglass collection. The end.
The end.
I wear them all the time. Why am I feeling such an extreme need to like justify my love of specifically Linda Farrow sunglasses? I do wear them all the time. Well, because I'm careful. I'm careful about what I consume, and I try not to be. I'm not super flashy about like wearing brands and stuff. I don't typically like that kind of thing. So,
okay, everyone. Our next little summer segment is our summer beauty favorites, which I didn't bring any props for, and I don't really have a ton. But what we were going to kind of mostly say is like when we're traveling in the summer, what we pack.
Yeah.
And for me, I have shown it before. I really love my Super Goop glow screen. I am out of it right now. And unfortunately, it is very expensive for sunscreen, but it's really good. But I love using that. I still really am looking for a holy grail light skin tint SPF vibe. So if you have one, I've tried the Ilia, whichever that one's called, and I have also tried the Say one, the skin slip or whatever. And I possibly could try both of those again, but Jessie helped me point out, one, I have dry skin, so I like to layer a lot of things on. So like around here and around here, it will kind of start to like pill. Both of those brands and ones kind of pilled for me. So if you have any good suggestions, I would love it.
Specifically for something that you can put over about 30 layers of product that are already on somebody's face.
What I'm going to try is to not do it. I'm going to maybe try to like prep my skin a little bit better for that vibe, but I don't know. I'm just trying to figure that out because I would love to have a very, sorry, my nose is running.
And
I'd
you
love to
need-
have a
you
very
need it.
light coverage, almost no coverage, but still a little bit of coverage for my summertime.
Yeah, and you do need it. I
need it.
I will say.
I also then like to just, for my eyes, when I'm just like traveling and I don't really want to be wearing makeup, I will do just like Aquaphor and eyelash curl them. I feel like that helps.
And you have beautiful, lush eyelashes, so you were able to do that.
Thank you. I have mascara on right now. But I do
But
love
even
to do
without
that
mascara,
because
she
I
has beautiful
really
lush
hate to wear
lashes.
mascara, and I actually hate to wear a lot of makeup anyway. Ugh.
Yeah,
I
me
immediately
too.
want to wash my face off.
Me too.
And let's not think about it because I want to wash it right
I know.
now.
Putting makeup on tonight, I realized that this is the only time every month that I put on makeup. I don't
know.
ever put on makeup aside from this. And when I put on makeup these days, I used to always wear, I shouldn't say I used to always wear makeup. I used to really like to put makeup on my face and to wear makeup. But as I've gotten older, I don't really like it as much. I don't like how it looks. I like how I look better without it or with just light makeup. And even sometimes I prefer how I look without any makeup on at all. It's just,
Yeah.
it feels better, and I think I actually look better without it on.
But yet, we still like our makeup for Knit Knat Chit Chat.
I will say I
The
like
ring
I
light.
like a makeup with a ring light because with a ring light without makeup looks kind of, it takes all
really
of the contours
washes
away from your face.
You just look
so,
flat.
Yeah, but it is fun to once a month put makeup on.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't only say once a month because I typically in the summer, are you done with, oh no, you don't, you have one more thing you want to talk about.
Yeah, I also just wanted to, well, the only other thing I kind of like to travel with these days is the Glossier Cloud Paint blush, because I do like to put on a little bit of a blush. However, I'm almost done with my Cloud Paint, and I don't actually think I'm going to rebuy it because you have to like push it out, and it's very hard to control how much you get. So I think I'm going to try for one of the like blush stick ones instead, but I don't love to travel with my powder blushes because I have to bring my brush and stuff.
Yeah,
So
and
if I
also it
keep
can break.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So-
not, the Cloud Paint has never been my favorite application. You literally need a dot, and it's like, it's just packaged in kind of a weird
but
way.
it is pretty, but
It
I'm
is
gonna,
pretty. You should
I'll
try
get
that
back to
Say
you when I
one.
try some new ones.
You should try the Say Baby. I have
Okay.
Say Baby, and
Say
it
Baby,
has
baby.
like the little doe foot applicator, but I love the texture
Okay.
of that one. The day that we did our pink lipstick, that's what I put on my lips, but that little baby pink would be very cute on your cheeks.
Okay.
And you should try it. I don't really wear it that often. I actually I need to come to terms with the fact that I'm not a liquid blush girly. I tend to be more oily, and I always feel like liquid blush with whatever I wear underneath it, it like lifts on what I have. And I actually, I'm quite
sure.
particular about my blush placement. I have very big cheeks. I don't always love to wear a ton of blush. And I just have a more precise application. My preferred method of application is just a brush with powder, usually. So, yeah. Going into my summer beauty.
Don't pick your
favorites.
hangnails.
I have to.
Ouch.
I have to pick them. They're not hangnails.
don't.
It's just dry skin.
Oh.
I do have hangnails on my. I'm a picker.
Okay, well now you need to be a picker of your holy grails.
Okay. This is actually a
Cute.
minor history pencil case that I used to keep knitting stuff in. And then I transferred everything to an even more small little leather container. And then all of that stuff got demoted to my Cocoa Knits when I got my Cocoa Knits paper container. So things are always moving. But this is a brand called Minor History. And my holy grail, my number one. In the summer, here's what my beauty routine is. Put on sunglasses and moisturize my face.
Yeah.
I don't usually wear makeup, but if I'm going to be out all day and I want to have a little bit of makeup on, or if I'm going to be in the sun at all, I always use the aforementioned Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. It has SPF 40. It has niacinamide, squalene, and hyaluronic acid. Hope I pronounced all those things correctly. Squalene, I think. The active ingredient is just zinc oxide sunscreen. And this little skin tint makes my skin look so dewy and so just perfect and beautiful. It's so greasy. It makes you look like a greasy little pig, kind of. And I love that in the summer. That's how I want my skin to look. I wear this in the winter too, but in the summer when the sun is shining on it, it's just beautiful. Like, I love it. And I'm old. I'm 42, so I have like, well, I should say I'm 42. I don't really have wrinkles, but I do have like, sometimes I'll get dryness on my skin. I certainly have like more texture to my skin and more hyperpigmentation than I used to from like acne scarring in my late 30s. And I think like sort of the sun hitting that scarring makes me have like more spots on my face, and this just like evens out my skin tone completely. And I love it. If I'm only wearing two things in the summer, it's usually this, and then the second thing I will mention, which is Glossier Rose Balm.com
Nice.
lip balm. It's very this is a light rosy pink, and it doesn't have much color payoff like for me, but it does make my lips like a little more pinky. My lips are actually quite pale, I think, compared to my skin tone. I kind of have like pale colored.
You think?
Yeah. It's not, I don't have like rosy lips. I have kind of like pinkish, but not, I feel like a lot of people with darker skin just have like juicy or more like dark color to their lips, which I like.
Juicy.
I have juicy, but I don't often have like a pinkness. So this makes my lips just like a little more pink. And usually all that I'm wearing are these two things. If I want to have a little bit more, if like, I don't know, for our Lamb and Kid event or something, like I will usually put on a little bit more. Or if I'm even at like a social thing all day, like at a powwow, I will usually put on a few other things, which this is my favorite mascara. It's the Lancome Lash Idole. It's just good. I have very sort of, I don't have really sparse lashes, but I do definitely think I have like kind of Asian lashes. They're a little sparse and a little bit short. So these kind of just like lift, and they're also very kind of like stiff. It's hard to curl them. I don't really like how they look actually curled, but this just gives me a little, and I just put it like on the very ends. And I love this one. This is my favorite one for my lash texture. The other thing I often will do is a clear brow gel. This is just Benetint. It keeps my brows like in place, but I don't usually do much other than that. I have very dark circles under my eyes, and I use this MAC Prep and Prime highlighter in Bright Forecast. It's an orange color corrector, and I will usually do that in conjunction with this, and my skin looks perfect. It's so beautiful. I love it. And then if I want a little more color on my lips, I will do this Glossier Portrait Ultra Lip. It's a super glossy, light lipstick formulation that just gives you a little bit, especially if you're doing it on top of a balm. It doesn't give you full color. I don't always like full color on my lips. Just gives you a sheer wash of like a little bit more pinkness on your lips, and on me it looks quite natural. I think it is probably more pink on other people. Oh, that scared me.
Thought it broke.
This is really sad. My actual famous favorite concealer or favorite bronzer, I often will wear bronzer like in summer as my only blush, and this is only on days when I want to, feel like I have a little more makeup on. Bobbi Brown's illuminating bronzer in Aruba was my holy grail. I've been using it. A lot of these things I've been using since, well, specifically these two things I've been using since the early 2000s. They discontinued my favorite color, which was Aruba. It was like the perfect kind of sandy bronze that was a little bit warm. This is Golden Light. Bobbi Brown does make really nice bronzers. but it's not the same as Aruba. I just, in fact,
It's
ordered.
sad.
They discontinued it last
You
year.
ordered like one on eBay.
I
or
ordered
something?
one on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, Bobbi Brown was acquired by Estee Lauder like last year, and they
Oh.
cut their line. They cut like they have barely anything like in
Whoa.
comparison to what they used to
Okay.
have. So anyway, those are my go-tos. Almost always these three things if I'm doing something, and that's it. It takes me 5 minutes to put my makeup on, like in the morning, and that is how I like it. For Knit Nat Chit Chat, it takes me probably at least 30 minutes to put my makeup on, unfortunately.
It's okay. We are only doing it once a month.
And we only do it once a month, and it is good to be reminded of how I look with makeup on, but
Yeah.
I like being a non-makeup girly.
Me too.
It feels good. If I thought I was more beautiful in makeup, I would definitely wear makeup.
In the
Unfortunately, I think I'm more of a natural girly. I'm not.
I love both.
I'm
I
not
love
like a full beat
I
girly.
love the look of the makeup, but I also love the look of a natural fresh face. I also feel like sometimes I might have said this already, but sometimes like when I'm watching TV shows and stuff and it's like mainly it's like Real Housewives or something, so it's like extreme glam all the time. And when I get to see them fresh faced, it is so nice. I go,
know.
it like they look so beautiful. It looks nice, and it makes my insides feel calm.
I love beautiful makeup, and I love when people wear makeup. I mean,
too.
I used to be, I would wear fake eyelashes like almost every day type makeup wearer, like in the, when I was younger, you know.
Yeah.
I'm an old lady now, but I would say in my late 20s and early 30s, I wore a lot more makeup. I will say that for myself that I've never been into trends. Like, I wear on my face what I think looks pretty with my facial features. Like, often like beauty advice is really specifically like targeted to like having specific features, and I never got into like the full beat like drawn on major heavy eyebrow. You know what I mean? I think I've always been, I don't know, pretty naturalistic in the way that I like did things, but I definitely used to like a more glam like eye look and just heavier makeup. But I don't know, I like the softness and roundness of my face, and seeing my skin like while I'm still kind of young.
True.
And you know what? I've only liked my skin more and more as I've gotten older. So
Also, it's good because it's like, I don't know, letting the skin come out a little bit sometimes just feels more, I don't know. For me, like for what I was saying, it does make me feel like inside myself to see people's skin.
me too. It's probably the first thing I notice. Like, when I notice somebody's very beautiful, I feel like I'm always noticing their skin, like how their skin looks. And it's really because they're like wearing a bunch of makeup on it. Sometimes people wear beautiful like foundation that's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, but you can tell they have a lot of products on. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a time and a place for it, and everyone will do whatever they want.
I'm wearing medium
on their
coverage
face.
foundation today, and I don't think my skin looks better than it does when I wear.
I'm
a skin
wearing
tint, you know?
medium coverage foundation, and I do think it looks better. But that's because
I
I'm
always just
starting to get
feel
all
like
my
it's-
sunspots, and I don't like them. Oh, well.
Yeah, I guess maybe I like my sunspots because I can see them when I'm not wearing it. This is just for me. It's how I feel pretty. It's not
Yeah.
how anybody else is supposed to feel pretty. So
So
Yeah.
take what you want. Maybe
take
you
what
liked
want
our
from
beauty
that.
tips.
Maybe you liked our beauty tips. Maybe you're looking for a 5-minute
Maybe you're-
routine and 2 different products. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's that.
that's that. Now we never have to talk about it again.
Never again. We're done. Beauty.
We're done. We're done.
We're done. We're done.
All right. Should we go into TV and movies next?
Yes, you will, because continue your talking because I don't have anything to
As
report.
previously mentioned, James and I were at the beach the other day, and James said, Jessie, I think I need to start watching Love Island. And I said, James, it's so funny you mentioned that, because I've never wanted to watch Love Island. I made a very, like, feeble attempt many years ago, like, on a whim, because I saw it. It must have been recommended on Netflix or something, right? And so I turned it on, and it was like the British version. And the thing that I saw in the British version that I was watching, all that I got was a taste of like, it's like 5 beautiful women, and then they bring 5 dudes who are just nasty. Like, none of them are like as hot as the women are beautiful.
Is anyone in the chat also watching Love Island? Let us know and tell us. Just tell us if you are or not. I'm not watching it. However, like Jessie, I have been fed heavily this season, like in my different algorithms.
My previous experience was seeing this, immediately being like, what is this trash? It's like 5 men, and the men were picking the women. I was like, this is the nastiest, grossest show I've ever seen, and I would never watch this. Like, it felt disgusting to watch.
Yeah.
So I never watched it. Literally over the last like week, I started, I don't know, maybe you all were getting the content, so it was fed to me because we're connected, but I've never like sought out Love Island.
I have watched a season of Love Island. I watched one of the Australia seasons, so it was like, oh, you want to go for a chat? I don't know how to do their accents, but it was all like that. But I've only watched one, and I have not been fed Love Island content since. That was years ago. This season, I'm being fed it like constantly. I think because maybe there were a couple videos that did pull my interest, so I stayed to watch them. So then I got more. Also, I think like the trending sounds are happening. So like the I'm a mommy,
Mamacita,
mommy,
mommy,
I'm a
mamacita.
mommy, mamacita.
I was getting that too. But mostly what I was getting a lot of, this tells you what side of TikTok I'm on. I was getting a lot of discourse, right, about whatever. That I'd never gotten before. But the thing that I was really noticing is that these women were gorgeous. Like,
Gorgeous.
all of the women were super compelling, but also like 3 of the women are like the level of gorgeous that you like never, it's like another tier of like goddess like beauty. And I was like, these women are gorgeous. And again, the guys were really nasty, but as I was getting more content about what like the characters and what was happening, I was like, I just need to see. I need to know. I have to know, mommy, mamacita. Like, I just have to I need to know. It's time. I actually feel pulled to watch this like garbage, because that really is, it's like, and this is no insult to people who watch it, because I am watching it, but it truly is, you don't have to pay attention at all. It's all filler. It's basically no thriller. And then it's like the most embarrassing, nasty, like gross. We were not wired to like see this many people kissing. Like, like in our minds. And so the things, I don't know what it's doing to me.
The vibe really is like people, because they know the cameras are on them, right? But it also is like you're secluded. But the vibe really is.
Why is there a role play happening in the chat right now? Jeff Poppin saying mommy. So he says, a human child.
This is too much.
What
Let's
age
focus,
is
you
your
guys.
sheet? This is exactly what happened in the episode.
But what
Sorry.
happens is that you're watching people like put on what they think will look sexy to the cameras.
Yes.
So they are flirting and kissing. They're being like physical in the most bizarre, forced
way.
Like, oh, this will be sexy. And you're like, do you actually touch people like that and kiss people like that? So you can just tell, you're like, oh, this is a very interesting lens.
It is really nasty and foul. It's nasty and foul TV for nasty and foul people like myself. I don't typically like this genre of show, but it is so, it's making me laugh so hard with how disgusting it is. There was one challenge where the men had to like milk a fake cow into their own mouths, spit it into the mouths of the women, and then the women had to like fill a bottle full. It's just perverted. It's like pure perversion. It's so sick. All of the guys, again, are nasty. There are so many like, goddess women. And then it's like watching, the other thing about it is like, I am a 42-year-old woman who has never been married, who's never wanted to get married, who's never even really wanted to be like, I don't know. I'm not obsessed with being like coupled with somebody. I'm not. It's such a foreign concept to me to be, first of all, 24 and hot. Not my experience. 24, like, hot enough to be on a TV show and being like, I want to find the love of my life, you know, which I think some of these people like
But
really
also-
are looking for love, and some
Yeah.
just want $1 million, which is great. That's the other thing. It's a reality TV show. So it's like they're trying to win money in addition to like
They're trying
playing
to
out
force,
like weird, yes.
Yes, they're trying to force a couple so desperately to happen because they need to stay in a couple to stay on the show, and you need America, you need like the voting audience of whichever country the Love Island is in. You need the people voting to love this couple so that you stay.
You have to be likable. You have to fake being in a relationship.
It's wild.
It is wild, and
Should
it
I watch
also
it?
Yes, you should watch
This
it.
season?
You also have to like watching people play out, or almost like play. The whole premise of the show is that people are constantly switching couples and like
Yeah.
whatever. But there's still this aspect of like people getting jealous if you like kiss somebody's, you know, person that they're
Yeah.
paired with and stuff like that. And it's actually absurd. It's absurd humor, like, to me. Like, it is so funny. And I also wanted to do my own sort of investigation about the discourse I was seeing about some of the women on the show. And I'll tell you what.
You need to do your own research.
You need to do your own research. I don't like what I think. The narratives are very misogynistic. A lot of them are very like racial. You know, it's I don't know, a girl just like multiple people have gotten kicked off for their social media footprint, which also is kind of handled poorly because they don't explain why. I don't know. It's a mess.
It is a good social.
It's good social
experiment.
commentary. And also I love Huda, and I love her.
not afraid to
She's
say
my
it.
favorite. She is my mommy, my mamacita.
My mamacita.
I find her and Amaya to be just, as a person who's like,
What's a Maya Papaya song? They never said it
I
was
don't know.
easy. You never said. She like sings to herself in the room. I got fed that. You never said it was easy. Something like that.
I can enjoy the show because I see none of myself in any of these people. And furthermore, like I said, I don't have the experience of being like hot or dating in this way that these people date. I also don't have the experience of not being. I think that I have healthy attachment as an adult, but definitely when I'm feeling stressed, I for sure lean towards avoidance and like avoidant attachment and outright like detachment from people. And so I am really drawn to people who wear their heart on their sleeves and just say how they're feeling and are real about it. And it's like, I can see the people on the show who are like me, who are like being kind of calculated and like acting and sort of putting on a front, right, for like what I think I would be doing if I was on a TV show where I am
you
falling
knew
in
people were
love, where I knew
watching
people
you.
are watching me and like I'm competing for money, and I also like really kind of like being on this show. Who knows how I am in real life, but all you're getting is the version of me that I want to be on Knit Chit Chat. No, but I mean, the people who just say how they're feeling and are open and vulnerable about the actual things they're feeling are the ones that I'm most drawn to. And they're getting, like, people say that Huda's manipulative because she, you know, she cries and she just immediately says how she feels, which I love.
Yeah.
I love people who are like that. So, I don't know.
Okay,
It's extremely compelling, and as a Delulu girly who loves to see people actually fall in love on absurd reality shows, season 6 is better. The cast is way better than season 7. I
Interesting.
wasn't watching because I thought the cast was good. I was watching specifically because I thought that Huda, Alondria, and Shelly were like 3 of the most beautiful people I've ever seen. They are so gorgeous. Like, it's just, I mean, I would watch just to look at them. They're so beautiful. Anyway. Enough about Love is Blind. Everybody should
Love
watch
Island.
it. Or sorry, Love Island. I do watch Love is Blind. I
Yeah,
haven't watched
I'm over that.
I haven't watched the last 3 seasons probably, but the initial seasons, they were good.
Oh, Ear Patrol. Oh, or maybe not. Your hair
I
is
feel
on
like
point today.
thank you. I don't know if I need ear patrol tonight. My hair is actually clean tonight, but ear patrol, if you're there, I love you. And if you, I mean, I actually showed you my ears earlier, which James said that I had pretty ears, and I said thank you. I agree. This is a sick way to. It's
Beautiful.
a sick way to look at them.
I didn't know if you wanted the camera.
I
to
just
see.
don't like my ear looking greasy.
Oh,
or my
ear
hair
patrol
revealing.
was not necessary tonight.
Oh, okay, great.
Thank you, Tabitha.
Thank you, Tabitha. Thank you for always being on the lookout. Can
Okay.
you talk first, because I feel like I
Yes.
just talked for so long.
We are on to books, which I have not much more to report. I still am reading The Name of the Wind, the classic fantasy book. And I'm here to report, I guess, I do have something to report, which is I'm about a little over halfway, and I am loving it.
I want to read it.
Yeah, you would love it too.
Yeah.
I just got to a great part for anyone who has read it. I won't do it in a spoiler way, but I just got to the part where he plays the lute at the music bar, where you can. I'm not saying anything that's that's like really gonna change, but where you can like get your silver pipes. So I'm at a very good part, as those of you might know.
I am excited. Maybe I'll listen to an audiobook.
My problem is I am about to be like reading a lot, and I feel like I'm going to finish my book fast, and then I'm going to have lugged this giant book on my trip, and then I'm going to need another book, and that's going to be stressful, but whatever.
Babe, bring a little book on the trip.
I'm going to read this book. You think I would wait to finish this book? No way. No, I'm bringing this book.
So big.
Yep. I'll be strong.
Speaking of big books.
Speaking of huge books.
This is the book that I just finished.
Look at how
The
big
Covenant
this is.
of Water by Abraham Verghese. I'm sure it's pronounced like Abraham Verghese or something. He is an Indian author. And this book was so good.
Okay.
It is set in Kerala, India, and it's sort of like an epic multi-generational family saga. That also is like a little bit of a medical mystery, and like I said, it's set in Kerala, and I really am realizing that I have a thing for books that are set in Kerala, because and I think Park's also favorite book ever, The God of Small Things, is also set in
Yes.
Kerala.
Ugh.
And it's I wouldn't say it's similar in tone, but like the descriptions of the place are so beautiful, and it's mixed in. I think that this author is actually a doctor also. So there's a lot of like really vivid and beautiful like medical description and imagery.
Yes,
it explores
he's the vice chair of the Department of Medicine at Stanford University
oh my
School of
gosh.
Medicine.
Imagine being
Jeez,
that-
boys.
having that mind. But this book is beautiful. It's it was named one of Barack Obama's favorite books of the year. I did not
And
even know
Oprah's
that.
book
And
club.
Oprah's book club. It's 700 pages long, and it is it could be 500 more pages. I could like it ends
Wow.
on a cliffhanger. It's like
I'm gonna add it to my list.
I really like it. It like I said, it really takes you to the place, and it explores a lot of different.
Well,
The
you're
characters
saying-
are really beautifully fleshed out. The environments are beautifully fleshed out. The like sort of political environment, it explores like caste and the political environment and the the medical mystery and the family dynamic, and it's just really good, and I love it.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, as I was reading it, I'm like, I want them to make this into a movie so bad.
Is it new?
It's probably no. I think maybe within the last few years, like
wow,
three
okay.
years old.
A movie, because it would be so
It
beautiful.
would be so beautiful. And then I was like,
Maybe a full
And then I had a
series.
thought. True, that's true. That's a
Long
good
and
point.
take its time.
Yeah, I was like, and I didn't explore this at all. I'm like, why wasn't The God of Small Things ever made into a movie? And I am sure it is because Arundhati Roy refused to like
Yeah, have it be
have
a
it. Yeah,
movie.
like they I just feel like it would
Yeah.
be like, I don't imagine her like granting the rights to do that. But they need to make a movie of this for me because
That's high
and also
praise.
I need to go to Kerala. Like
Yeah.
the descriptions are just like beautiful. So I loved it.
Tabitha has asked, how do y'all feel about the Sarah J. Maas books? Jessie has not read those. I have read them. What was the famous series? The Court of Thorns and Roses.
Oh yeah, you have read those.
How do I feel about them? Let me say this. I enjoyed them. I did. I do feel like I was told that the books were smut. I was told they were super smut. And then here I am reading the first book, and it took like 300 pages to get anything. Sorry, that is not smut. What is happening? So the other books, obviously, they are more smutty, as you may say, and I did like them. I had a good time with them. They were fun to read. When you're like, how I felt about it was like, it was a fun summer read, like when you just want to read something very low stakes and that is enjoyable and quick. I wasn't in love with the writing that much, and I did think that I was kind of like, whoa, these are a little bit overhyped. But I still enjoyed them. I don't see myself going and reading any of her other series. I know people are like huge fans, so I do feel bad saying that.
It's not your thing.
But it just was like, it was really fun while it lasted, and I don't think I need any more of that.
I remember when you read that on our vacation to Wisconsin
Yeah.
like a few years ago, and
Yeah.
I remember you reading it. I'll say that much. I do remember Park being like, these were supposed to be smutty, and nothing is happening so far.
And I'm all for a slow burn, but like
You're also all for smut.
But
so.
yeah, I also though, like, I'm sorry to say, but I started to like, when I would get recommended it as smut, I started to feel like a little bit like to the people that were recommending
Are
it
you
to me, like,
virgins?
are you okay? Oh, okay.
Have you had sex before?
I was a little bit like, oh, okay. Just mainly because it just took so long for the first one, and it is kind of like
Were the
told
sex
to you,
scenes like
whoa.
fun?
They were fun.
Okay.
I had a fun time with them, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, the more so in like the later ones. I can't remember how many books there were, but I think in like 2 and 3 they were a little bit more fun. I will say that part of it though is like some of like the second and third books, you know, when like you're all for like the chase and like the forbidden part of it.
That's
did
what Park
get
is
a little
always
bit
about.
Yeah, it did kind of get for me a little bit like just like, oh, now you're just together, and it's like more trying to be more like romantic, and so you're a little bit like this
not
is
for
less
me.
fun.
It's not fun anymore. That is
Anyway.
Park to a T.
So
She likes being chased. No
meanwhile,
offense.
I've been in a relationship for 12 years.
No, but when I hear about the courting of Emily Park Williams,
Yeah.
what did Sam say when we were telling her about it? She was like, Caden,
Basically, she was like, "Why did you put up with that?"
Why'd you put up with this bitch? Is what Sam said.
So true.
So funny.
Anyway, that's my take on that.
Yeah.
I don't regret reading them, but I don't think I will go further.
I haven't read them, and I won't, for the reason of, and this is a revealing of something evil about me, I don't really like to read things that are popular. It's like a weird contrarian part of I'm like, if I'll decide
Aquarius.
later if I want to read this. Like, if after 30 years people are like, this is one of the best books ever
Jessie,
written.
you're not gonna like it.
Also, I know what I like, and I know I won't.
And
like
I
it,
also
so.
kind of know what you like, and you wouldn't really like it.
I didn't think you would like it, so
Yeah. I did like it, but I didn't love it.
Well, I won't be reading them, but
You don't need to.
I really like when other people enjoy things. Like,
Yeah.
I like that other people have a fun book series
Me
that
too.
they love. Okay. Shall we?
Books.
That's books. And we're not going to tell what books we're reading next because it puts too much pressure on it. I know I told everybody I was reading Migrations, but I started it and then I gave it to my partner for a minute and then I wasn't reading it. And then I got it back and now I'm like, maybe I should read it in winter. It's kind of a winter
I want to read that
book.
one too.
Yeah.
We just have one last little thing in our chit chat.
One tiny thing, which is just I wanted to talk about video games for a second because I haven't really been playing any, but I did try. I got my partner into Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now, when I first was, I didn't think I liked Assassins with, it's so hard to say that with my lisp. I didn't think I liked Assassin's Creed before I played Assassin's Creed. And then, because I like things that are typically a little bit more fleshed out in the way of story and like open worldness. But I played an Assassin's Creed game for the first time after my friend Lindy was playing one. I think it was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the one that's like set in Greece, like during the Peloponnesian War. And I really liked it. It was very open world. It was huge, which I think is different from some of the Assassin's Creed games, but I loved it. And it kind of Assassin's Creed pilled me. So I played Odyssey, I played Origins, I played Valhalla. I think those were the only ones I played.
My brother played
so
a lot
far.
of Assassin's Creed when I was growing up.
It's very mindless. It's kind of like it's not quite Love Island, but it's like it's like mindless. It's like it requires very little brain power, and a lot of it is just kind of like dumb. But also it's like historical action adventure. So you get to like meet figures from history, and like a lot of the landscapes or maps are like kind of accurate. So I don't know, I like things that are kind of based in the real world and like a modified version or whatever. So I played those three and I love them. And then I just got my partner into Assassin's Creed Odyssey because that was the game that I really liked. And so I was really enjoying watching them play. And I was like, you know what? There's 2 new Assassin's Creed games. I'm feeling like playing a video game for a little bit. I can't play video games when I'm trying to work because it uses the same part of my brain.
I can't either because I get to we both have
we get
that in
addicted.
us where
it's
we
like,
wake up and we want to play the video game.
It's the same wavelength of my brain that knitting uses, and like I keep talking about how busy I am with knitting and how I feel like I'm always behind, and like truly I can't be into a video game and be really hard into like I'm only working all the time arc, which I have been for the last 5 months or something. Like it's not possible for me. But I was feeling for a minute the other day, like I'm like, Assassin's Creed is easy to get into. It's like I was really liking playing his game, and I was like, I don't want to play his game, so I'll start one of the new games. Now there's 2 new games. One is Mirage, which I think is set in like Istanbul or in Turkey, and the other one is Shadows, which is set in like, I want to say like feudal Japan. And I decided to play Shadows. I really loved Ghost of Tsushima, which was like
I still need to play that.
Oh my god, that one is so beautiful. Like, I loved that game. In fact, I need to finish. I never finished the DLC for that. But
the DLC.
yeah, I loved that game, and I was like, maybe this will like scratch that itch. So I downloaded Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I think maybe I need to just spend more time with it, but it didn't capture me. And in fact, I was kind of glad because I don't need to be playing video games. I can work. But I do have to say, it's like the first Assassin's Creed game where I wasn't immediately like, oh, I want to play, I want to do. The mechanics of it were a little different, like, than what I'm used to. And I think it's a return to the original Assassin's Creed games, which are like, you have to be much more stealthy and much more strategic, and like the more open world games or the newer games or the newer generation of Assassin's Creed, I don't think was like that. And I think they're like harkening back a little bit to the old version, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that version. It was a little bit hard for me, which I didn't have the like mental capacity to address it. So that's my video game note for the month.
Maybe you'll go back to it someday.
Maybe. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think I will, because maybe when I have more, I don't know, more of a mind for it, I will, but I don't know. So yeah, that's my last note in the Chit Chat section.
Is there anything else that we missed? I don't think so. We did pose for a thumbnail, but we'll do another one just in case. No thumbs. Do we look cute, you guys? I feel like we shouldn't. I like to wait till later to make sure that we did, but I like to do it earlier because I feel like I start to get like done at the end of the show.
Yeah,
like,
I know. Well, I think we hopefully we have some with our zine.
Yeah, true.
Is there anything you all want to talk about? What's
Probably not because I almost need to go to the bathroom.
Okay, Park has to poop. So
Not poop. Jeez. They said that and blowing your load. It's too much, Jessie May.
But now I have you saying it like
Sick.
It rolls right off the
Ew.
tongue.
No, it doesn't.
Um,
Okay, on that note, everybody, we love you all so much.
we love you.
Thank you so much.
I want to especially shout out everybody we've been getting a lot of really nice messages on the Chit Chat hotline that we haven't really addressed. Like,
Yeah.
most of the time it's not people like asking anything, but a lot of the time it's just like people telling us about themselves
and very nice messages.
and really nice like affirming messages.
I also don't know that, like, I don't want it to feel like if you call the Chit Chat hotline, we're going to, like, put your message on blast or anything. So that's kind of why we're not sharing just the nice little messages.
Yeah.
But we do really appreciate them.
No, they are our fuel,
Yeah.
honestly.
True.
For me, I mean, the little...
Because it still is hard for us to believe that you guys actually want
Like
to sit
us.
and listen to us.
Yeah.
And honestly, we're not quite sure why, but we really appreciate it anyway. We try.
Because every time I'm talking ever in life, I'm like, oh my God, everybody's so bored, I should stop.
I know,
And I'm
I-
sure sometimes they are.
I feel
so
that way too. And it's okay if you
It's
are.
okay, yeah. But I also really enjoy consuming this type of content where people are just, I don't know, I'm knitting and I...
Well, I think that it's nice to see friendship. It's nice to hear
Yeah.
about the hobby that you like to knit. And then we also have a lot of other things. So,
Yeah.
oh, hair routine next time. Okay.
Ooh.
We'll add a few things to the list.
We will add a few things.
A collection,
my-
hair routine. I can't remember
Your
what other
collection,
things.
a hair routine.
There was maybe one other thing someone said, but I'll check back. Okay, guys.
Okay.
Winding down. Weaving in our loose ends. Loose ends are woven.
If you have anything to say it now.
Say it
or
now.
Forever hold your peace.
Forever hold your peace. Thank you, everyone. Like we said, our next Knit Nat Chit Chat. Sorry to say, you guys are going to miss us so much. I think absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, it's going to be a while because we are going to be
Traveling
for
in and out. We have schedules kind of like this right now. So our next one is going to be Wednesday, August 20th. Sorry to the Leos. Actually, we're going to probably just hit the end of Leo season.
Yeah, we'll honor the
we can
Leos.
still do a Leo honoring.
And I also have a pattern release that day, so mark your calendars.
Mark your calendars, open up your coin purse.
And 6:30 p.m., same time.
6:30 p.m. We're back to our Wednesdays. So thank you, everyone who was able to make this Monday work. And so, yeah, Wednesday, August 20th at 6:30 p.m. at this place. Call the Chit Chat hotline if you're so inclined.
Yeah, if you forget something or don't want to say it publicly in the chat, even if it's just that you love us, especially if it's just that you love us, we really do get the sweetest messages. And I love learning about like where people are from. And
Yeah.
I just love when somebody calls to say,
We just
hey,
love you guys.
yeah, we love you.
We can't
And
help
it's
it.
and we also love affirmations.
We love you guys. We love compliments. We love affirmation. We
Yeah.
love everything like that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, are you ready for us to fade out? Let me see if I am. Yes, I am.
Thank you, Miss Astronaut.
Goodbye.
This episode was made possible by our sponsor, Coco Knits, thoughtfully designed knit patterns and craft tools so you can delight in the making. And the support of viewers like you.
Artwork by Kaden McGreevy. Music by Dan Poppin.
Call us on the Chit Chat hotline at 872-204-6976.
Again, that is 872-204-6976.
This is Jessie May.
This is Park.
We knitted,
We natted.
we chitted.
We chatted.
See you next time.
Goodbye.